Horizon would be right where they are tonight, playing for the state title. But after enduring pitfalls along the way, this veteran group has shown great character in reaching the promised land. The Huskies have never gone this far, but John Clayton, Brooks Tyree, Jeff Voigt and company want to take one more step. It's showdown time in Sun Devil Stadium as tonight the Class 5A state football champion will be crowned. From Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, tonight it's the Class 5A State Football Championship featuring the 8-time state champion Knights of St. Mary's and the Horizon Huskies making their first ever appearance in the championship game. Good evening, everybody. I'm George Allen here along with Doug Gerlach, and we're glad you're with us on ASPN to experience a great football happening tonight. It's for all the marbles, the Class 5A State Football Championship. And Doug, these two teams know each other well. They met in week 3 of the season.
We saw them during week 3. St. Mary's won 15-13, but the Huskies very nearly pulled it out at the end of the ball game on a long pass play to John Clayton and then missed a very makeable field goal that would have won it for them.
Let's check the road to these finals and find out how both of these football teams got here. First, the Knights of St. Mary's, who opened playoff competition at Phoenix College against Westwood and got their stiffest test to date. They won it 13-10 on a 36-yard field goal by Jim Sanson with just 2 seconds to go after Westwood had tied the score just 50 seconds earlier. The following week, it was over to Dobson High School in Mesa, where the Knights played a near-perfect football game in beating previously unbeaten and top-ranked Mesa 24-14. And last week at McClintock High School in Tempe, it was Roger Aguilar who put on quite a show in leading the Knights to a 42-9 win over Tucson Amphitheater. The Knights come into this football game with a mark of 12-1, just one victory away from their second state championship here in this decade of the 90s.
They have had an outstanding record, obviously, throughout the playoffs and throughout the years. You mentioned 8 state championships. St. Mary's head coach Pat Farrell is looking for his 4th state championship as a head coach.
In the last 11 years, we might add. It's been a great program over the years at St. Mary's. The Huskies of Horizon, first time they've ever been here to the championship game. How did they get here? Here's how they got there. They opened playoff action in first-round play against Trevor Brown, and for the second time this year, they beat the Bruins handily 43-3. The following week in the quarterfinals, they took on the Toros of Mountain View, the defending 5A state champions, played them at Westwood High School, and played a brilliant football game. Horizon winning it 23-14, shutting down the running attack of Mountain View. And last week at Dobson High School, they knocked off previously undefeated South Mountain, the Jaguars, by a score of 28-15. So the Huskies have been impressive, so have the Knights, and they both have winning streaks coming into this one. St. Mary's has won 11 in a row since losing their second game of the season to South Point. Horizon has won their last 8 in a row.
Really, and you can make a case for the fact that they have not lost since that 3rd week of the season, because they lost their 5th game against Westwood, but that was a game when 26 varsity players sat out because of the incident with the X-rated movie, and they've had to play their junior varsity ball club against the Westwood varsity. So really, this team that we will see on the field tonight has not lost since it played St. Mary's in week 3.
We're going to see some great offensive weapons on the field tonight. Let's spotlight some of them. First of all, for the Knights of St. Mary's, keep your eye on number 25, Roger Aguilar. He's been brilliant all season long. He has scored well over 100 points for this football team, and 1 week ago, 329 all-purpose yards, scoring 4 touchdowns in the win over Amphitheater. Then you take a look at the greatest place kicker in the state this year, Jim Sanson. 12 field goals to his credit. He has scored 141 points, 10 touchdowns, as well as those 12 field goals. He's been brilliant. He had the state record 58-yarder in playoff action against Westwood in week 1. And then there's quarterback Ryan Keeley, just a junior, as steady as they come. Last year throwing for 22 touchdowns. This year he's thrown for 16 touchdowns, more more important, he's only thrown 2 interceptions, none since game 2 this season.
And the last 2 players really don't want to underestimate anyone. Roger Aguilar, we saw him 2 weeks ago. He's an outstanding defensive back. He helped shut down Mesa's passing attack and made some big catches as a receiver. If this game comes down to kicking and field goal kicking, Sanson could very well be the difference because he's an outstanding kicker. And as far as Keeley is concerned, it's doubtful that Horizon has seen anybody all year long who can throw the ball as well as Keeley.
Of course, Horizon's not without their heroes as well, and one of them is John Clayton. He's been brilliant all season long. Clayton with over 1,700 yards and 23 touchdowns on the season coming in. He had a brilliant quarterfinal game against Mountain View, and he ran for 150 yards. Also, the quarterback, Jeff Voigt, was brilliant in the opening playoff round win over Trevor Brown. He was equally effective last week. Only had to throw the ball 3 or 4 times, but he passed for a couple of touchdowns and ran for 2 as well.
He really was a big difference for Horizon, getting him out to the early lead. A lot of folks figure when you play Horizon, you have to stop the Horizon ground game with Clayton and Brooks Tyree. And Voigt came out of nowhere with a couple of big pass plays to spark the Huskies. So that's something that St. Mary's has to watch out for tonight.
We mentioned earlier that these 2 teams know each other because they've played earlier this year. The last meeting was back in September 23rd. St. Mary's prevailed 15-13. 3 long field goals by Jim Sanson. Danny Schmaltz caught a touchdown pass, but the Knights had to fight off a late rally by Horizon, who missed a 40-yard field goal as time ran out, or they would have won the football game.
That's right. In fact, they were backed up near their own goal line and completed a long pass play. Actually, there was a pass in the flat to John Clayton, and he very nearly ran the length of the football field for a touchdown, tackled inside his 20-yard line. And the Huskies then were in position to kick the field goal and win the ball game, and missed.
The all-time series between these 2 football teams, Horizon and St. Mary's, stands in St. Mary's' favor 8-1. The only victory by Horizon was last year in the regular season game played at Phoenix College. And if you take a look at what they've done in state title games, we told you this is Horizon's first ever appearance. St. Mary's is very familiar with title games.
But something about this rivalry, and it really is turning into a rivalry and a friendly one between Doug Schaefer and Pat Farrell, at that the last 3 ball games between these 2 schools have been decided by a combined total of 5 points.
And most people feel that this one tonight will be every bit as close. We're glad you're with us around the greater Phoenix area to enjoy this one. It's the Huskies of Horizon, the Knights of St. Mary's. It's the 5A State Football Championship. It's up for grabs tonight. We'll come back, have the opening kickoff after these words.
Jack in the Box and Paramount Pictures team up to give you a free Star Trek Generations movie collector's cup when you galaxy size any of our supreme value combos for just 39 cents more.
Engage! Let's go!
It's a stellar deal from Jack in the Box.
You know what I want? Tacos. Yeah. But not those teeny tacos. They gotta be big ones.
Jack in the Box introduces the Monster Taco Deal. 3 delicious Monster Tacos for just $1.99.
Now this, I want.
Join us at Old Chicago Pasta and Pizza for the Valley's greatest Chicago experience. We have the best deep dish pizza in town. And be sure to bring the family because the price is right. We pile the freshest ingredients high on our unique whole wheat or white crust. And don't forget to stop in our sports bar, where we're proud to feature the Valley's largest selection of beer, 115 from around the world. We're located at the corner of Broadway and Roosevelt in Tempe, 530 West Broadway.
The further adventures of Big Bill's Deals and Wheels. Don't be fooled by so-called discount prices and super deals. Forget about it. Instead, come to Big Bill's Deals and Wheels and find the biggest and best selection of tires and wheels anywhere, and at the lowest prices.
If you own a custom car, a classic, or any car or truck that you're proud of, then come on down and see me. And believe me, you can't miss me.
Big Bill's Deals and Wheels.
Arizona's largest.
George Allen, Doug Gerlach back with you at Sun Devil Stadium just prior to kickoff of this Class 5A state championship game tonight between St. Mary's and Horizon. We mentioned St. Mary's with 8 state championships. To run them down for you, they won the title in 1941 with a mark of 9-0. Jimmy Robinson was their head coach back then. In 1949, Chink Coleman was the head coach of St. Mary's when they went 8-1. In 1951, it was Chink Coleman again, and the Knights won the state title with a mark of 7-1. Then came the more modern area, 1967. Ed Doherty, the coach. St. Mary's won it with a mark of 13-0. They came back in 1968, went 11-1 under Ed Doherty to win the state title again. And they came back and tried to make it a three-peat in 1969, but failed as Central High knocked them off that particular year. By the way, Pat Farrow played for those 3 teams for St. Mary's, 67, 68, and 69. Then in 1984 and 85, as you take a look at Pat, the Knights won back-to-back state titles. In 84, they finished 12-2. They beat Tucson Saguaro for the state title, 31-14. And in 1985, they went 14-0, and they knocked off Glendale Apollo 11-7 in the title game right here. And in 1991, the Knights went 13-1. They were led by Sam Saltz that year, the player of the year, as the Knights knocked off Tucson South Point 28-13 in the championship game. By the way, St. Mary's is the last Class 5A school to go undefeated through a football season. That was the team in 85 that went 14-0. So now it's gone 9 years since then, since anybody's been able to go undefeated. Matter of fact, there have only been 4 schools who have ever posted marks of 14-0 in Class 5A in Arizona. McClintock was the first to do it in 1977. Moon Valley went 14-0 in 1982. Mountain View of Mesa went 14-0 in 83, and then St. Mary's, the last school to turn the trick, going 14-0 in 1985. St. Mary's has won 10 or more games in a season 9 times in the last 11 years, and they have made 15 consecutive state playoff appearances. It's been quite a program for St. Mary's. Horizon, on the other hand, a program that started in 1981. They lost to Mesa in the quarterfinals that year, going 10-2. Then came a drought where they did not go back to the playoffs until 1989. Doug Schaefer took over this program in 1985, and the Huskies went 5-4-1. But under Schaefer's guidance, the first year the Huskies made the playoffs was in 1989 when they lost to Mountain View in the first round. In 1990, they came back going 9-1-1, losing to Corona in the first round of the playoffs. In 91, they went 9-3, losing to Corona again in the quarterfinals this time. And the last 2 years, 1992, Horizon went 10-2, losing to Mesa in the quarterfinals. And a year ago, they won a perfect 10-0 through the regular season, lost their opening round playoff game to Mesa 35-7. The all-time series led by St. Mary's 8-1. The only win by Horizon last year, 27-25 over St. Mary's in the game played at Phoenix College. So the Knights had won the first 6 games in this particular series. We'll be back to Sun Devil Stadium for the flip of the coin and the opening kickoff in a moment.
Oh, please, oh, please. Just help me this once, and I'll never ask for anything again. Ever. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Next time, get a dependable Interstate battery. We check them before you buy them for fresh power. Guaranteed.
Join us at Old Chicago Pasta and Pizza for the Valley's greatest Chicago experience. We have the best deep dish pizza in town. And be sure to bring the family because the price is right. We pile the freshest ingredients high on our unique whole wheat or white crust. And don't forget to stop in our sports bar, where we're proud to feature the Valley's largest selection of beer, 115 from around the world. We're located at the corner of Broadway and Roosevelt in Tempe, 530 West Broadway.
The captains make their way to midfield for the flip of the coin. Before we get this one underway, we might mention that in the first game tonight, the Class 4A state championship, it ended in the tie. Tucson Saguaro and Peoria battling to a 17-17 standoff. So the 4A championship is shared tonight. Let's go to midfield for the flip of the coin.
Bart, you are the visitors. Here's the coin we're going to toss. This coin here is the heads. This side is tails. Yes, sir. Now, if I drop this coin, we're going to do it again. You call it loud and clear in the air. You ready? Yes, sir. Tails. Tails has been called. Gentlemen, it is tails. You're going to have your choice. Would you like to defer? You want to defer second half? All right, gentlemen, they have deferred your talking captain. You want the ball. Gentlemen, they want the ball. What goal do you want to defend and kick? Defend and kick this way? Yes, sir. All right, gentlemen, over here. Over here.
Limits option. Horizon.
What do we see? Gentlemen, come on here for a minute. Gentlemen, I've got something for you, Captain. What, Captain? This is going to be yours. Complimentary. Captain, here you go. Couple other things that you
So we've had the flip of the coin. St. Mary's defers their option of the second half. Horizon gets the football to open things here tonight. There's Doug Schaefer, a graduate of McKeesport High School in Pennsylvania. He played quarterback and defensive back. He graduated from Clarion State College in Pennsylvania. Coached at McKeesport High School in Shadow Mountain before coming to Horizon in 1980. Became the head coach in 1985. Doug Schaefer in his first ever championship game, and there's his career record. Pat Farrell took over the coaching reins at St. Mary's in 1978 from Pat Lavin. He's a former St. Mary's player. Played on the night state championship teams in 67-68. Once intercepted 4 passes in a game against Brophy back in 1969. Had 9 interceptions that year when he made All-State. Played his high school ball at St. Mary's under Ed Doherty. And he knows what it's like to coach and play in big football games. We mentioned he's going for his 4th state title in 11 years. Some people think the finest coach in the state of Arizona. Pat Farrell has done a brilliant job at St. Mary's. So both coaches, with their final instructions as they send their players out, no secret, Horizon would like to control the ball tonight, Doug Gerlach. And for St. Mary's, their passing attack will be something to watch.
And it really, I think you've pinpointed the 2 things that are going to present problems for the defenses of these respective ball clubs. I wouldn't be surprised, based on what we saw St. Mary's do against Mesa, to play their linebackers close and try to take away Horizon's running game, figuring that although Voigt can throw the football, their defensive secondary is talented enough to rise to that occasion. On the other hand, as far as Horizon is concerned, we mentioned it at the outset, they have not faced a quarterback of Keeley's caliber all year long, except for Keeley himself, and he was not playing well at the beginning of the year, as were most of his teammates. They struggled early. They have found themselves, and the passing game of St. Mary's, I think, is what the Horizon defense has to be most concerned about. One other thing. We saw these teams early. They weren't playing well. We have seen them late. They are playing well. This should be a great football game because there appear to be teams that have saved their best football for the championship game.
That's Jason Paletti and John Clayton back deep in double safety as Jim Sanson kicks off. Sanson doesn't allow many teams to run back kickoffs. This one is a short kick. It will come down short and will be fielded by Clayton at the 5. He hands to Paletti. Paletti's up to the 15. Paletti's out over the 20, and he's down at about the 24-yard line. And that's where Horizon will put it in play, 1st and 10. Huskies go to work, and Jeff Voigt will lead them on the field. Voigt at the quarterback spot has passed for over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. He's thrown 9 interceptions. The front wall for Horizon, Sanders and Milano. The center, McLaughlin, Hockgraber, and Johansson on the weak side. The backfield with Voigt at quarterback, Tyree a power runner. Clayton can break out at any time. Paletti, the wingback, was brilliant a week ago. Pazak and Moore, the other receivers. First down from scrimmage, offensively for Horizon. From the 23-yard line, give the ball off. Clayton finds a hole. It closes in a hurry, and Sanson knocks him down as he gets to about the 27. Give him a gain of 4. Bellis was over in the area as well defensively. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 to go for the Huskies of Horizon. St. Mary's on defense. Selna, Becker, Giordano, who feels his best in about 2 months, and that's good news for the Knights, and Pelzer across the front. The linebackers, Bellis and O'Malley along there. And in the secondary with Aguilar, Schmaltz, Sanson, and also Tarek McDonald. It's an outstanding secondary for St. Mary's. 2nd and 6 after the gain by Clayton. Give the ball up the middle. Brooks Tyree, first down before McDonald knocks him down just shy of the 40. First down, big run by Tyree, who had an excellent game a week ago against South Mountain. Talk about consistency. Last year, Tyree had 733 yards on the ground. This year, coming into this game, 792. Found a hole up the middle and knew what to do with it.
That was Hochgraber, number 64, throwing a good block on the line of scrimmage. Tyree, you mentioned, averaging 7 yards a carry this year.
Last week, Tyree 7 carries, 61 yards in the win over South Mountain. That's the initial first down of the football game. Horizon's got the ball. Pitch it back to the speedster Clayton. Looks for a hole, can't find it, and he's hit and knocked down by Tony Petlin. Petlin, the weak side linebacker, got in after a gain of a couple out over the 40. It'll be second down with about 8 to go. Just underway the first 2 minutes of action here at Sun Devil Stadium. Class 5A state title as Pat Farrell looks on from the St. Mary's sidelines. 3 years ago, on a Friday night in December, St. Mary's walked off this field with the state title when they beat Tucson South Point. For Horizon, this is a dream come true. They've waited for years to get here. They've had a great program for a number of years. First pass of the game by Horizon falls incomplete. They try to get it out to Clayton at about the 45, and again it was Petlin drifting over with him on the coverage.
They had a couple of men going deep, but it was Clayton, the primary receiver, coming out of the backfield. Petlin was a little bit behind him, but it looked as if even if that ball had been thrown well enough to catch, that Petlin was right there, they would not have picked up the first down.
Jeff Voigt on the year. He's a 6-foot senior. He's thrown for 1,144 yards and 8 touchdowns. And against Trevor Brown in the opening round of the playoffs, he was brilliant. He rushed for 142 yards and completed 7 of 8 passes in that game for 154 yards. Ball sitting at the 39-yard line of Horizon. It is a third down, third, and call it 8. Now they'll move it out to the 41. The series started on the 39, and after Clayton got 2 yards on first down, they just had the incompletion on the pass to Clayton.
Well, the ball was sitting at the 39-yard line because it was misspotted.
So it's third down and 8, Horizon. This is where St. Mary's wants to make the hold and get the football. Passing situation for Voigt. He threw the ball only 4 times all last week. Fakes the handoff. Voigt keeps, and he won't get to the first down marker. He's knocked down at about the 46 or 47-yard line, and it'll be kicking time for Horizon. In to make the tackle for St. Mary's on moving up. There was Tyler Becker. Voigt comes out of the football game, and so it's punting time. And standing back to punt will be Eric Rangel. He comes into the game averaging 34 yards per kick. Back deep, Roger Aguilar, who took 2 punts back a week ago for touchdowns against Amphi. Line drive kick. Gonna fall short and take a Horizon bounce inside the 15. Now comes back to the 15. It's blown dead there. St. Mary's will put it in play. 1st and 10 from their own 15. Ryan Keeley, final words from Pat Farrell as he heads on the field. The offensive lineup for the Knights of St. Mary's. The offensive line across the front with Guerra and Rivera, Gonzalez the center, Jim Hill and Tyler Becker on the right side of the line. Keeley at quarterback. He's thrown 16 touchdowns. Schmaltz the running back. Aguilar at the wing. Sanson with McDonald and Pacheco in there. They'll go double split end formation tonight. 39 yards on that last punt by Eric Rangel. Double wing, double wide out. Hand the ball off, no running room at all. Danny Schmaltz knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Schmaltz into the game with over 500 yards rushing on the season. He scored 2 touchdowns on the ground. He averages 4.5 yards a carry. Horizon will go with a 4-man front, and it is immense. Wing, Milano, Jacob, and Vasquez. They look college size. Meadows, Tyree, and Wild, a great trio of linebackers, and a secondary of Pazak and Clayton along with Losey and DeLandry. We'll also see Jeff Voigt in the secondary as well at times tonight. Aguilar in motion, 2nd and 10. Keeley's pass is deflected and knocked down.
May have been 67, Milano, the tackle. But he is a big one, 6'3", 275, who got his hands up in the air to bat it away.
Milano and Wing in the area. Mike Milano, 6'3" senior, had a 43-yard interception return for a touchdown earlier this year against Brophy. It looked like it was Milano.
Milano goes both ways. He's also a very good offensive lineman at strong guard for the Huskies.
3rd and 9 for the Knights. The ball just out over the 15. Call it the 16, so call it 3rd and 9. Keeley drops the throw. Horizon puts pressure on and knocks him down for a loss. Inside the 10, and that's Wing. Ryan Wing tied for the team lead in tackles with DJ Vasquez. That's his 6th quarterback sack of the season.
Wing has played very well this year. We've seen him make a number of big plays, and he just overwhelms the man trying to block him on this play to put Keeley away. And now St. Mary's will have to punt out of its own end zone.
I think that's the key to the game for Horizon. They've got to put pressure on Keeley. They can't give him time. Aguilar averages 39 yards a punt. Punts it to Clayton, who finds running room, but there's a penalty marker down. And I think this one's coming back. Clayton's inside the 20, but hold on. The flag is thrown back in the vicinity of the 45-yard line. Boy, he's a dangerous runner when he gets some room. John Clayton.
22 during the run.
I thought I heard one of the officials say, yeah, Jim Pazak guilty of the infraction, and it's coming back.
Okay.
Just that punt alone, even though this one's coming back, has got to plant something in the mind of St. Mary's, seeing Clayton take that ball back as far as he did. You can't give him running room.
Well, they know that, and St. Mary's is well schooled on special teams.
They really are. That's one of their strong points. Has been over the years. So they'll mark the football back on the penalty to Horizon, and the Huskies have it for the 2nd time tonight offensively with 7 minutes and 23 seconds left first quarter. Pat Farrell going over game plans on the sideline with his assistants. Last year it was Mountain View prevailing over South Mountain in the title game. In 1992, it was Mesa High defeating Mountain View. And in 1991, it was St. Mary's knocking off South Point here for the state championship. Tonight it's St. Mary's and Horizon to decide the 5A title. John Clayton breaks through, and he's out to midfield. A gain of about 11 yards. It's a first down for the Huskies. That's what they want to do tonight, control the ball on the ground.
He might have been able to pick up more, but Hochgraber, number 64, while executing a block, was shoved back into Clayton. Let's see if we can pick it up right here. Hochgraber right there, and Clayton runs into his own man, but gets loose and picks up some extra yardage.
1st and 10 Huskies. The ball at midfield. No score in the football game. Voigt with it. Give it to Clayton. Wanting to sweep. Can't get there. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Charlie O'Malley from the linebacker spot. O'Malley, who had a blocked punt earlier this year and a win over Central. Tough linebacker. 5'10", 172. He'll be back. He's only a junior, and he made the play on Clayton.
Good job by O'Malley coming in to fight off his blocker right there, and then actually he shoved right into Clayton. For a moment it appeared that play was there for the Huskies.
Remember, this is a junior-dominated St. Mary's team. Most of these players will be back next year. The one key player they're going to lose, a senior, is Roger Aguilar, and they'll not replace him, believe me. Pat Farrell says Aguilar is the best receiver he has ever coached. Here's Clayton again, looking for running room. To the outside, knocked down by Tarek McDonald at the 44-yard line. He got about 6. Call it 3rd down with about 4 to go.
He ran inside his 72, Jason Sanders. Right there, Sanders shoving, and Tyree also, but that's Sanders that you just saw there. And Clayton, for a moment, appeared he had some room to rumble, but he's finally put away by McDonald.
5 minutes, 40 seconds left first quarter. Another look at John Clayton. He touches the football and you hold your breath. Clayton with 1,740 yards on the year and 23 touchdowns coming into this ball game. Horizon with a 3rd down and about 4. Voigt looks over the defense and he'll send Clayton in motion. Give it to Brooks Tyree. Big hole. Tyree still on his feet. Inside the 30 to the 26 of St. Mary's. That's a first down. Huskies starting to pound the football. 18 yards on the run by Tyree. And there's a St. Mary's night down on the field.
Boy, Hochgraber and McLaughlin, the center, number 51, just buried St. Mary's defensive lineman at the line of scrimmage. And Tyree runs so hard, he gets past that first wave, and he's going to get a big gain as he does this time.
Tyree, a tough runner, breaking tackles on his way down the field and finally tripped up at about the 26-yard line. Tyree had a 47-yard touchdown run against Trevor Brown in the opening round of the playoffs. He had an 18-yard touchdown run against Mountain View in the quarterfinals. And earlier this year scored 3 touchdowns in a victory over North Canyon. Brooks Tyree. The running backs for Horizon, you see what they've done on the year. Clayton with 1,741 yards. Tyree and Voigt, who runs the ball very effectively as well. So they have accounted right there for 46 touchdowns. As you can see, it's a potent trio of running backs, Clayton, Tyree, and Voigt. Still a St. Mary's player down on the field.
I wonder if that's Charlie
O'Malley. It looks like the linebacker who we just talked about a moment ago. And it is O'Malley being helped off. So the first casualty of the game, as far as we can see, Charlie O'Malley going off the field. Linebacker for the Knights of St. Mary's. No score in the game. 5 minutes, 18 seconds left here at Sun Devil Stadium. Opening period, St. Mary's and Horizon. St. Mary's trying for its 9th state championship in history. Horizon looking for its first ever. And right now the Huskies on the move. At the St. Mary's 26, 1st and 10. Tyree goes for a couple. Finally tripped up. Not much gain on the play. Ball is marked on the 25-yard line. A gain of 1 for Tyree. 2nd and 9. Tyree in full, Clayton at halfback. Double wide out to the near side of the field. Give it to Clayton. Tiptoes his way through a hole and bangs his way down to near first down yardage at the 16. Sanson up from the secondary, but Horizon moving the football steadily on the ground.
He is so quick. Watch, he stops right here. The hole isn't where he expected it. So he cuts back to his left behind Milano, number 67, and makes a gain out of the play and a first down.
Another look as he comes firing through. And finally tripped up. First down, Huskies from the Knights 16. Ball control is what Horizon wants. John Clayton having an excellent first period thus far. This is Horizon's 2nd offensive possession. Give it to Clayton. And penalty flags down. May have been some movement on that Horizon line prior to the snap. We'll see.
9-0, dead ball, false start.
So they'll step off 5 yards against the Huskies, and it'll be 1st and 15. Good crowd on hand here at Sun Devil Stadium. From our side of the field, which is the press box side naturally, is the St. Mary's side, the home or the visiting side of the field. And I can tell you from looking down in the lower stands that they are from goal line to goal line with fans. Nothing unusual. There's a look at it there. I mean, it doesn't make any difference where St. Mary's plays because they just bring a mob wherever they go. And Horizon with an excellent turnout as well across the way. Good crowd. Clayton start in motion. Play action. Voigt gonna keep. Cut it inside and he's dragged down. Good play by Pelzer. Ben Pelzer, the weak side end. Well, Voigt would have got more yardage than that. Pelzer, a 5'11 junior. Here's another look. Watch him fake the handoff here to Clayton. And now Voigt will keep.
67 Milano leaving the way. 77 Johansson as well. And a short gain for Voigt.
Give him a gain of 1. Call it 2nd down and 9. Ball sitting on, call it the 15-yard line. Voigt, play action, looking downfield, wants to throw, can't find anybody, so he'll keep. And Voigt is down inside the 5, and he dives to near the 2. It'll be 1st and goal for the Huskies. Jeff Voigt.
St. Mary's had everybody covered. There was absolutely nobody for whom Voigt had any chance at all of completing a pass.
Another look.
Everybody covered, getting a little pressure right here, but everybody's covered. He's looking, still wants to throw. There's nobody open.
He has proven to be an excellent runner this year. And he does not duck contact either. Jeff Voigt. Remember, before the season started, he was involved in an automobile accident, had a collarbone injury. But he's come back strong. It is 1st and goal. Hand the ball off. Oh, what a hit. Horizon came up in the secondary, and I mean to tell you, he rocked the ball carrier, Tyree. Good hit that time. Watch it again. Straight up the middle behind that big offensive line. And up come the Knights up strong. Second down, goal to go. Ball down at the 2-yard line. 7-man front for St. Mary's. Voigt gives it to Clayton. Clayton to the goal line. He's over. Touchdown, Horizon. John Clayton's 24th touchdown of the year from 2 yards out. Gives Horizon the early lead, 6-0 here in the first quarter. Jim Dively will try the extra point. Ball down, kick on the way, and it's good. Clock shows 1:34 to go, first period. And on an impressive drive, Horizon scores and leads 7-0.
Voigt and Clayton almost mishandled the handoff right there as Voigt turned around, but Clayton got it and goes in. Actually, it's not Voigt and Clayton, it's Tyree coming by to lead with a block who almost jars the ball out of Voigt's hands.
Little leap by Clayton, finds the hole and dives in for the touchdown. So Horizon scores first.
Well, George, you talked about ball control. Here we see just a little bit more than a minute and a half to go in the first quarter, and St. Mary's has been able to run only 3 plays from the line of scrimmage.
This was the concern of Pat Farrell this week when I talked to him. The fact that he was hoping Horizon was not going to be able to hold on to the ball most of the night. And that's what Doug Schaefer would love to do. Keep it out of the hands of this potent St. Mary's offense, guided by Ryan Keeley. And St. Mary's, as Doug pointed out, had only 3 plays offensively. And Keeley felt some pressure when St. Mary's had it the first time. He was sacked on a possession. So it's 7-0 Horizon. Scott Finkbeiner will kick off. Dan Schmaltz and Roger Aguilar are back deep. Kick comes down, and it's fielded by Schmaltz at the 9. And Danny's back out over the 20 to near the 25-yard line. Dan Schmaltz, he doesn't have the numbers some of his teammates do, but I'll tell you what, if I go to war, I want him on my side. He is one tough individual. He's only 155 pounds soaking wet, but he'll give you 150% every game out of the blocks. Danny Schmaltz. Again, double wing, double wide out formation. Ryan Keeley. Quick 2-step drop. Throws out to Schmaltz. Can't hang on. Incomplete. Coming up in the secondary, linebacker Chris buried on the coverage. Incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 for the Knights.
This is Schmaltz coming out of the backfield. And even if he makes that catch, you see that Chris Berry, number 40, is right there to put him away anyway. It would have been no gain.
Schmaltz, in the first meeting between these two teams, caught a 14-yard touchdown pass in the victory over Horizon. Danny also scored a touchdown in the semifinal win over Tucson Am5 last week. Hand the ball off, and on the left side, not a whole lot of running room for the Knights. That big defensive front stands tall for Horizon. That was Schmaltz again.
And it was Ryan Wing, 56, and Barry, number 40, who came in to plug up the hole.
Horizon going 61 yards, and look at the time of possession. That's important because that's what they want to do tonight. They ate up almost 6 minutes of clock. Clayton carried it in for the score. Final 40 seconds of the first quarter. St. Mary's looking at a 3rd down and 8. The ball at their own 27-yard line. Keeley dropped on a 3-man rush. He has all the time. He'll screen it out to Schmaltz. Schmaltz looking for running room. He will not get to the 1st down marker. He's knocked down at the 25.
DJ Vasquez, number 54, was not fooled on the play. He stayed at home, waited for the pass to be completed, and then went and put Schmaltz down.
Vasquez shares the team lead in tackles with Ryan Wing as you take another look.
So Vasquez, for a moment, fighting off a block. He's now out here, nobody on him. and ready to make the tackle.
Good play by Vasquez. So, St. Mary's for the second time tonight, unable to pick up a first down, and they left the front of the way. That is the end of the first quarter here at Sun Devil Stadium in the championship game. Horizon 7, St. Mary's nothing. Back in a moment.
Join us at Old Chicago Pasta and Pizza for the Valley's greatest Chicago experience. We have the best deep dish pizza in town. And be sure to bring the family because the price is right. We pile the freshest ingredients high on our unique whole wheat or white crust. And don't forget to stop in our sports bar, where we're proud to feature the Valley's largest selection of beer, 115 from around the world. We're located at the corner of Broadway and Roosevelt in Tempe, 530 West Broadway.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs in sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For nearly 30 years, Subway has made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub. Only $1.69 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Get your meatball sub for just $1.69 at Subway today. With 111 convenient locations, there's one near you.
We get set to start the second quarter. It's 7-0 in favor of Horizon. John Clayton, a 2-yard touchdown run to give the Huskies the lead. And now St. Mary's looking at 4th down. And Roger Aguilar to punt of the way. Ed Farrell on the sidelines. Farrell looking for his 162nd career coaching victory. And there's Doug Schaefer. Schaefer 70 wins, 38 losses, 2 ties as a head coach coming in. Horizon's had the football for over 8.5 minutes of this football game so far. They've dominated in time of possession. Line of scrimmage to 25. Clean snap to Aguilar, who gets the punt away. Line drive kick coming to Clayton. He fumbles, he falls on it, and that's where Horizon will put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. So Clayton may have had some thoughts about running with the football before he actually tucked it in. So here comes Jeff Voigt to lead him on the field. So far, the Horizon offense has looked sharp in this football game. Tyree and Clayton, the running backs, Voigt at quarterback. St. Mary's still looking for their initial first down of the football game. Horizon has had 4 first downs thus far. I formation, Clayton the deep back. Give it off to Clayton. Up the middle. Clayton breaks free. He's out over the 50-yard line, out over the 45 to the 44 of St. Mary's. That is a first down.
It was Dan Schmaltz, number 2, who made the tackle, but this play is made right at the line of scrimmage. Tyree, 42, leading the way in the block. 64, Hochgraber. He runs behind him, and it doesn't take much to get him loose.
That's about a 14-yard run by Clayton. And Horizon looking impressive here in this first half at the St. Mary's 44. Now they split the backs. Paletti on the wing. They pitch it to Clayton, who wants to sweep. Can't get away, and he's knocked down. Tony Petlin made the play, the weak side backer who got to him first.
Petlin with an excellent job to fight off the blocker in the backfield and at least slow up Clayton so he wasn't going to go anywhere.
It was a week ago when St. Mary's fell behind Tucson Amphitheater 7-0 at the start of the game, but they came back. Another look at this last one.
That's Petlin fighting off Tyree, and Tyree is not a bad blocker.
Loss of 1. Call it 2nd down and 11 from the 45 of St. Mary's. Horizon with the ball, leading 7-0. Clayton still on his feet. John Clayton, first down to the St. Mary's 31. 14 more yards ripped off by Clayton.
Clayton's so quick. He got to the line of scrimmage. The hole wasn't there. He slid a little bit to his left behind 42 Tyree, who is throwing a block and gets good yardage. That's also 77 Johansson out on the wing to make a block behind which Clayton runs.
That's 7 first downs for Horizon. 62 yards on the night for Clayton already. And Doug Schaefer's got to like what he sees. Time stop momentarily with Little over 10 minutes to go in the first half, and Horizon driving with the football. Again, Paletti on the wing. Inside the handoff. Paletti on a sweep. He won't get wide. He kicks free, dives for yardage. But it was Tarek McDonald and Charlie O'Malley that tripped him up. He dove ahead and actually gained a couple of yards on the play.
Good to see O'Malley back in the football game. He was helped off the field in the first quarter. Paletti again. He was actually looking for the hole around the area of the right tackle. It wasn't there. Then he tried to make something around the end, and there was nobody out there to help him.
I think it was Brian Bellis who had that hole clogged pretty well and forced Paletti to go elsewhere. Second down, 8 to go. He's still got 2. Now they line up in a double wing with Clayton and Paletti. The lone running back is Brooks Tyree. It's handed off to Tyree, looks for a hole, fights his way through, and Tyree drags tacklers. He's within about a yard of a first down inside the 25, near the 22 of the Knights.
There's absolutely no hole there for him to run through. He slid along the line to his left, just feeling his way until finally he found a gap. Right here, he is stopped. There's nowhere to go, slides to his left behind Hochgraber 64, and is able to get some yardage.
It is 3rd down and 2, and this is a key play right here. Knights have got to try and dig in and hole. They're already down 7-0, and Horizon's been moving the football against them pretty well. Voigt keeps, goes forward. He is close to a first down. Let's see where they mark the football. Back in 1985, the last time we televised a state championship game on ESPN, it was St. Mary's and Apollo on this field. And Apollo took the lead 7-0, and they were shoving St. Mary's all over the field. But the Knights somehow managed to hang on until late in the game when they scored. They found some sort of reserve inside to keep Apollo at bay most of the game and found a way to win. It's kind of similar to the situation here tonight. St. Mary's being knocked around pretty good right now on the line of scrimmage. They've got to try and hold. This is 4th down. 4th and 1. Voigt looks over the defense. Gives the ball off to Tyree. First down on 19. He went off the left side of the line behind Milano and Sanders on the strong side. So it's a first down as Jim Pazak gets instructions before heading into the football game. Here's another look at Tyree.
You called it exactly right, George. Milano and Sanders crossed on the line to open up the hole. And right now, this game is being won by Johansson, Hochgraber, McLaughlin, Milano, and Sanders from tackle to tackle on the Horizon offensive line.
1st and 10, Huskies from the St. Mary's 19. Horizon leads 7-0. Second quarter, give it to Clayton. Clayton off the right side. He drives ahead for a gain of close to 4 before he's knocked down. And it's nothing fancy in there. Brian Selny in on the tackle for St. Mary's. You take a look at Jeremiah Johnson, who has 7 catches on the year for a touchdown. He's waiting to go in. Gets the play from Doug Schaefer. Johnson, a 5'10 senior. Clock running with 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go till halftime. 7-0 Horizon leading and driving. St. Mary's has yet to pick up a first down in this first half. Penalty markers, and they may have taken too much time. There was some confusion when they broke the huddle and got to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the right guard and right tackle were on the left side. The left guard and left tackle were on the right side, so they had to flip around, and by the time they got themselves set, too much time had run off the clock.
We got dead ball. We got a delay on the green team.
3rd penalty in the game for Horizon for 25 yards. The Knights yet to be penalized. Individual stats so far: Clayton 11 carries, 65 yards. Tyree 6 carries, 40 yards, and Voigt's at 24 yards through 4 carries. So between those 3 thus far in the football game, they have 129 yards rushing. Give Paletti a couple as well, and they're churning it out on the ground. Second down, about 12 to go after the penalty. Fake the handoff. Voigt on a keeper, trying to go wide, and a good defensive play by Tarek McDonald.
Outstanding play. If he buys the fake, If he buys the fake handoff, Voigt may have a touchdown on that play. McDonald's responsibility is to watch Voigt. That's exactly what he did. He stayed with him, and he's the only man out there who can stop this from being a big gain, if not a touchdown.
McDonald had a big interception a couple of weeks ago in the quarterfinal game against Mesa, and here he comes up strong again with a good defensive play from the secondary.
Boy, Mike Moore, number 80, the tight end, with a punishing block over on the right end.
3rd down and 8. Horizon with the ball at the 17 of St. Mary's. They start Paletti in motion, and Voigt looks to throw. He's feeling no pressure. Now he's rolling out, and now he's going to run the football. Being chased. Oh, Tony Petlin with a great play. Petlin dragged him down at about the 12 or 13-yard line, short of a first down. Boy, Petlin's come up big in the first half defensively for the Knights. It's going to be 4th down. As far as field goal kickers, Scott Finkbeiner is 1 for 3 in field goals this year, a 35-yarder. Jim Dively is 1 for 2 in field goals. He kicked a 31-yarder.
In a sense, that last play was a race between Jeremiah Johnson, number 21 for the Huskies, and Petlin, because Johnson had gone out on the pass play, and when he saw Voigt running, he was the man who came back to try to block Petlin. But Petlin got to Voigt before Johnson got to Petlin.
So a timeout called on the field, and Horizon trying to decide, do you kick it for 3 or do you go for the first down? It's going to be 4th and about 3 to go. Phoenix Suns basketball coming your way on ASPN as Suns coverage continues Monday, December 12th, 7 o'clock. The Golden State Warriors come to America West Arena to tackle the Suns. Pre-game activity, the preview show starts at 6:30 p.m. Tip-off time for the game, 7 o'clock. Suns basketball right here on ASPN. Also, the Sacramento Kings come to town on Saturday, December 17th to test the Suns. This is an improved Sacramento ball club here in '94. Again, the preview show at 6:30, and the Kings and Suns get it on at 7 o'clock. Here at Sun Devil Stadium, with that much time left till halftime, Horizon leading, and they'll go for the field goal. Finkbeiner out of the hold of Pazak will try a 30-yard field goal with a slight angle. Snap the ball down. Finkbeiner's kick on the way. Got the distance. It is good. A 30-yard field goal by Scott Finkbeiner, his second field goal of the year in 4 attempts. And with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the half, Horizons increased the lead to 10-0. But maybe a moral victory for St. Mary's.
Well, I don't know about moral victory, but maybe a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Maybe thinking that they're fortunate to get away from that drive, having allowed just 3 points.
Exactly.
10-0 means they are not down yet by 2 touchdowns. So they're still very much in the game, a game in which they have done absolutely nothing offensively.
Good spot by Pazak, and you see Finkbeiner happy with the result. Another look, and he splits the uprights down the middle. Finkbeiner with his kick from 30 yards away. So St. Mary's finds themselves down 10-0. Again, they have yet to pick up a first down. They've been unable to generate any kind of offense. Time of possession heavily in favor of Horizon, but still a 10-0 lead with this much time left in the first half. St. Mary's still very much in this game.
But we have played over 18 minutes in this football game, and St. Mary's has run just 6 plays.
Set for the kickoff. Schmaltz and Aguilar deep. The kickoff by Finkbeiner comes down the field, and it will come to Aguilar at the 11. Roger looks for a hole. It's not there. Trevor Wild wraps him up out over the 20, and that'll do it. Last week, Roger Aguilar had an incredible football game against Amphitheater. 329 all-purpose yards. He added 116 yards on 10 carries, caught a pass for 11 yards. He had 3 punt returns that netted 202 yards in that game. He was absolutely outstanding. Had punt returns of 87 and 67 yards for touchdowns, and had touchdown runs from scrimmage of 27 and 52 yards. And you look at him there, Roger Aguilar. First down Knights from their own 21. Sampson in motion. Keeley rolls right, looks and throws. He's got his man, Tarek McDonald. Spins away from the defender, and McDonald's out near the 47-yard line. First down Knights. 25 yards on the pass play from Keeley to Tarek McDonald. That's St. Mary's football.
McDonald gets a break and not so much from a block, but from some interference that Sanson runs behind him. Watch right here. Losey is in a position to make the tackle, but Sanson had gone out on the pattern and got in between Losey and McDonald that allowed McDonald to head on upfield without Losey making the tackle.
Brendan DeLandre had the first shot at McDonald and missed the tackle. That's the Knights' initial first down of this football game. And it comes with under 5 minutes to go in the first half. From the 47, Keeley, quick drop, now rolls left, looks for an open man, gets it away, gets Sanson, inside the 40, down to the 35 of Horizon. That's another first down. 18 yards on the pass play.
Huskies had 3 men on the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers. They brought both linebackers, so 5 men trying to apply pressure inside. Keeley just rolls outside. There is nobody for Horizon out there to rush him, and he delivers a strike to Sanson.
If you can believe this, Keeley threw only 3 passes all of last week in the win over Amphitheater. He was 1 of 3. Jim Sanson, who caught that pass, that's his 20th catch of the year. And we're going to get a timeout called on the field by St. Mary's. 4:26 to go. First half, it's 10-0 Horizon. Jim Sanson's had an amazing year. 10 touchdowns, 45 points after touchdown, and 12 field goals for 141 points on the season for Jim Sanson. And he will be back again next year for the Knights of St. Mary's. 10-0 Horizon leading with under 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. They love to spread the wealth around here at St. Mary's, and Aguilar's been the main man on the receiving end, as that graphic would indicate. But Tarek McDonald, no slouch, and also they go to Sanson, and Jimmy just made the catch before, which gives him now 20 receptions on the season. So Keeley has some very capable people to go to. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of Horizon. This by far the best offensive series for the Knights this evening. Trailing by 10, trying to get back into the football game. Andrew Gonzalez over the football. Keeley looks over the defense and hands to Aguilar, who's wrapped up by Ryan Wing. Boy, he is some kind of defensive end. 6'1", 245, a senior, Ryan Wing.
Well, you know how quick Aguilar is. Wing catches him from behind. Right here. Pursues him down the line and makes a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Stay with us at halftime. We'll visit with Barry Sollenberger and review some past 5A championship finals, and also visit with the executive director of the Arizona Interscholastic Association, Dr. Boyd Boyd. Right here, though, it is 2nd down after that loss on the play. Keeley looking for the open man, gets it away, and it is incomplete. Juggling with Schmaltz, then he was hit and couldn't hang on. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
There's linebacker Josh Meadows, who was all over Schmaltz to keep him from catching the pass.
Watch it again and watch linebacker Josh Meadows right there. Meadows returned an interception earlier this year, 32 yards for a touchdown in a victory by Horizon over Kofa. There's Meadows, a 5'11 senior, 210-pounder. Ball is at the 36-yard line. St. Mary's looking at 3rd and 11. McDonald comes wide to the near side. Double wing formation. And a wide out to Checo to the far side. Sanson in motion. Keeley to throw. Coming after him. He gets away. Looking, throwing, got a man. Touchdown, Roger Aguilar. St. Mary's is on the board. Keeley had time. He got away from trouble and found his main man, Roger Aguilar. And the Knights are right back in it.
Well, give credit to Aguilar. The play started to break down. Keeley was in trouble. He had to get away from a couple of Huskies who were about to put him away. He kept running his pattern. Watch right here. He doesn't give up on it. He keeps running when he sees Keeley in trouble, and now Keeley finds him.
He ran right past Harley Losey and catches it in the end zone, and Sanson delivers the extra point. And that's a big score for St. Mary's. 3:33 to go. First half, it's Horizon 10, St. Mary's 7.
Well, there's still plenty of time here in the first half, but if the Knights can get into the locker room with that being the score, they're going to have to be awfully happy because their defense has been shoved around, and until just a moment ago, their offense had been unable to do anything.
Right there.
He almost went down right
exactly.
There. And now Aguilar, who kept running, gets the pass for the touchdown.
Coming into this season, over the past 2 years, Aguilar had caught 70 passes for 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns.
That was Randy Valenzuela for Horizon number 50, who almost was able to make the tackle on Keeley, and 74 Nelson Jacob was in the neighborhood as well, but Keeley got away, and you can't let him do it.
Keeley lofts it up, and Aguilar makes the catch for the touchdown, and the Knights are excited. Why not? They're back within 3. 10-7 Horizon. And now Sanson will kick it off.
And remember what happened in the Mesa game. Defense got shoved around in the first series. Mesa, a quick score. Then the offense showed that it could do something, and that seemed to inspire the defense, and it shut Mesa down effectively most of the rest of the night. Let's see if the Knight defense now draws some inspiration from what the offense just did.
Set for the kickoff. Sanson the kick deep. Clayton and Paletti, the returners. It's a low kick, bouncing down the field and goes out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
There will be no penalty because it hit Sam Patterson, number 44. He touched it, and then it went out of bounds, so the Huskies are going to get the ball inside their own 15-yard line.
There's Sam Patterson, number 44, 5'11" junior.
Well, I may be wrong. Now I see a flag in the field. I thought that ball hit Patterson.
I'm looking over the schedule and trying to remember the last time the Knights trailed at this point in a football game. And I think you'd have to go back to the opening game of the season, maybe even the South Point game.
We do not have a flag. The ball was touched by Green.
You called it right, Doug. Ball was touched, and so Horizon will take it over from that point.
Well, if I called it right, it's not because I'm closer to the action than the officials are.
Here it is again. Maybe we'll get a look. Yeah, right there. Patterson tried to go up and catch it. It went off his hands and out of bounds. Good call. But in the Westwood game, the opening game of the season, September 9th, the Knights trailed in that game 13-3 going to the fourth quarter. Had a rally for 2 touchdowns to win it. And against South Point, they took the lead in the fourth quarter, did the Knights, only to lose it in the final seconds on a field goal. But they find themselves trailing here with 3 minutes plus to go, first half. Hand the ball off to Clayton. Clayton up the middle. He just follows that big offensive line for 5 yards straight ahead. So Clayton, who's had a big year here in '94, and he's had a good first half tonight, wedges his way out to the 19-yard line. Gain of 5, second down and 5. As we approach 3 minutes to play in the first half. Tyree with the handoff, and Brian Bellis met him right in the line of scrimmage. Tyree fell ahead for a gain of about 2, but a good stop by Brian Bellis, the middle linebacker.
Potentially, we could have a huge turnaround right here. If St. Mary's can stop Horizon and force a punt, with the way St. Mary's can throw the football, they would have a chance to go into the locker room with the lead, incredibly enough.
And it would be incredible the way Horizon had dominated. Up until that last drive by St. Mary's, the Knights have been unable to do anything. Here we go.
White coming this way.
3rd and 3. He will look to throw. Back to pass. Has all the time in the world. Picks out a man. Throws complete to Clayton. Out at the 38-yard line. Not Clayton. That was on the receiving end, Jeremiah Johnson. Johnson, with his 8th catch of the year, good enough for a first down. Boy, did he have time to throw that time.
They had 3 men split wide to the left, and Voigt didn't try to deceive anyone. He went back with the pass and kept looking to his left. I thought he might try to keep it and come this way. And he had enough time to let the receivers improvise, and Johnson finally broke free over the middle.
So that's a first down for Horizon as Voigt buys some time and throws the strike. Ball out near the 38-yard line. Voigt to drop and throw, but first the flags fly and the whistles blow. And we'll step off some yardage, and Horizon will try it again. Minute and 48 till halftime. And Horizon leading.
Green, false start.
Jeff Johansson called for the false start. Johansson, just a baby, 6'5", 300 pounds, a senior, transfer from North Canyon.
Baby what?
He takes up half of that right side of the line. So they'll move the football back to the 33. That'll be first down. Horizon 4 mark-offs here in the first half for 30 yards, and St. Mary's yet to be penalized here in the first half. Again, Barry Sullenberger, our guest at halftime, and a visit with Dr. Boy Coy, the executive director of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. Voigt calls signals on a 1st and 15. Draw play to John Clayton, and Clayton looking for running room and finding it. John Clayton is into the secondary. He's inside the 40 of St. Mary's to the 39-yard line, and that's a first down.
And you may have heard it was picked up by our sideline microphone. Somebody on the St. Mary's sideline kept hollering, draw, 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 and that's exactly what they ran, and nobody touches him. That's Tyree leading him up the field, but Clayton now is on his own, and he is so good.
98 yards in this first half so far for John Clayton. Now Horizon thinking they can put some points on the board before halftime. Give it across Tyree, and Tyree running through people. Cracks inside the 35 to the 34. He got close to 5 yards on the carry.
And we're going to see Horizon now start to spend timeouts.
They spend one here, and that's the second one they've utilized in the first half. Boy, Tyree, just a powerful runner. He averages 7 yards a carry, and he's got 37 yards on 7 carries tonight. He has scored 14 touchdowns this year. Brooks Tyree, 5'9" senior. Horizon scored first. John Clayton went over from 2 yards out. Then a 30-yard field goal by Scott Finkbeiner made it 10-0 Horizon. Then St. Mary's finally came to life, drove down the field, and scored. A touchdown pass from Ryan Keeley to Roger Aguilar to put them on the board, and that's where we stand now with a little over a minute to go in the first half. Horizon enters the game with a mark of 10 wins, 3 losses. In the history of Horizon High School, they have never won more than 10 games in a season. Never more than that. Trying to make this the first time here tonight. Matter of fact, Horizon's won 10 games the last 2 seasons, finishing 1992 10-2 and finishing last year 10-1. They're 10-3 now, and if they can get the 11th win, it'll by far be the biggest in school history. Second down, 5 to go. Jeremiah Johnson flanked to the near side, double wing. Voigt to throw, feeling no pressure, gets the pass away. It is tipped away, almost intercepted. Sanson knocked it away from Paletti, the intended receiver. It's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Voigt was getting good protection. The Knights were rushing 4-man, dropped everybody else back. Voigt had plenty of time to throw. And that one almost completed, almost intercepted.
Remember last week, Jason Paletti was on the receiving end of 2 touchdown passes from Jeff Voigt. 55 yards and 35 yards in the victory over South Mountain.
It is interesting on a 2nd and 5 that they, even though there's only a minute to go, that they would go to the air rather than keep it on the ground where they've been doing so well.
Now it's a 3rd and 5 from the 33 of St. Mary's. Draw play to Clayton. And Clayton is hit and he is dropped. Good defensive play. Was that Brian Bellis, the middle backer, I believe, who wouldn't let go? There he is.
And I tell you what, if he doesn't hang on at the line of scrimmage, Clayton's got some room to run.
Clayton got maybe a yard on the play. It's going to be 4th down with 35 seconds to go. Here it is again, and there's Bellis's tackle.
He's hanging on for dear life until he gets some help. And if he doesn't, Clayton is so quick, he can dart around those St. Mary's defensive players you saw come into the picture a moment or 2 later.
Now timeout is called by Horizon. They must have let 10 to 15 seconds run off that clock before they signaled timeout. Now there's 20 seconds to go. We're looking at the 4th and 3 for Horizon with the ball sitting on the 32 of St. Mary's. Doug Schaefer conferring with Jeff Voigt. Voigt, the senior, Boyd has run for 9 touchdowns himself this year. Pat Farrell, state titles as a player in 67 and 68. State titles as a coach in 84, 85, and again in 91. St. Mary's 12-1 on the season coming into this one.
Remember, St. Mary's gets a second half kickoff, so if they can hold Horizon right here, or even if they do allow the field goal, when they get the second half kickoff, they'll have a possession where they could take the lead.
It's 4th and 3. Finkbeiner has not kicked one this far this year.
It's a 48-yard field goal attempt.
48-yard attempt. He's 1 for 1 tonight from 30 yards. He has a 35-yarder this year, and this one on the way, it won't get there. So with 15 seconds to go till halftime, St. Mary's will take over the football, trailing 10-7. This has been a funny football game. When these teams go to the locker room, if this is the halftime score, St. Mary's has not had the better of it. It's been Horizon dominating the play, but only a 3-point lead.
Well, St. Mary's is going to have to figure out some way to stop Horizon. But the thing is, Horizon's going to go into the locker room, and they will have to feel a bit worried because while they have the lead, there are Knights just behind them.
So we'll see. Keeley brings him up, and the Knights may just elect to run out the clock with 15 seconds to go and not risk any turnovers down here. We'll see. Danny Schmaltz finds a hole. Schmaltz over the 30 to the 32, where he's knocked down. Berry in on the tackle, along with Ryan Wing. They'll move the chain sticks. 10 seconds to go in the first half.
They don't have to snap the ball.
They start the clock, and there will not be another snap. That's the end of the first half here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. The Class 5A State Football Championship. And our scores, they head to the locker room. The Huskies of Horizon seeking their first ever championship, 10. The Knights of St. Mary's, 7. Stay with us. Halftime activity next on ASPN.
To your galaxy is a new dimension of fitness. For the first time ever, Club Ultra Sport, La Mancha Racket Club, and the Arizona Athletic Club have combined forces to present the most powerful incentive on the planet to stay fit. Coming soon to a planet near you. No body on Earth will ever be the same. Join now for the price of one or 25% off single membership rates. Call now 277-6000 to be instantly connected to the location nearest you.
Join us at Old Chicago Pasta and Pizza for the Valley's greatest Chicago experience. We have the best deep dish pizza in town. And be sure to bring the family because the price is right. We pile the freshest ingredients high on our unique whole wheat or white crust. And don't forget to stop in our sports bar, where we're proud to feature the Valley's largest selection of beer, 115 from around the world. We're located at the corner of Broadway and Roosevelt in Tempe, 530 West Broadway.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Do you need tires and wheels for your car or truck? Well, then get off your butt and come on down to Big Bill's Deals and Wheels. Howdy. I'm Big Tex, Big Bill's little cousin, and I do mean little. Big Bill's at dinner right now, has been for several days. So let me tell you all about Big Bill's Deals and Wheels. It's Arizona's largest selection of new and used wheels, custom-made wheels. Whatever you need, Big Bill's got it. And if he don't got it, he'll get it. Got it? Good. And this ain't no bill.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Just help me this once, and I'll never ask for anything again. Ever. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Next time, get a dependable Interstate battery. We check them before you buy them for fresh power. Guaranteed.
Hello again, everybody. It's halftime of our state championship game tonight. St. Mary's and Horizon. George Allen, joined by the editor of Phoenix Metro Football. Barry Sollenberger. And as promised last week, we're going to get into some classic finals that have been played on the 5A level over the years. Barry can start us off with one that was played back in his years, back at Arcadia High School, 1962. How about that final?
They had football back in the 80s.
Yes, I think so.
Cardboard helmets and everything. No, I was fortunate. I was a junior at Arcadia High School then, George, and it's a perfect example of the impact that winning a state championship in a major sport like football can have on the school. Arcadia beat Tucson High 40-7 in the finals at Sun Devil Stadium, and the next Monday, school was so hectic that the principal came over the PA, sent everybody down to the gym. This was early in the morning, like the second class or second hour of school. Sent the whole student body down to the gym, which at that time was close to 2,000 students at Arcadia. They had a great pep assembly, saluted the whole team, and then let everybody go home. That's usually something that you usually see in a private school, but that was a first for a public school, I'm sure. But it's really it has a great impact on your school, especially during the week building up to the finals for both schools, and of course it's a letdown for the loser.
We haven't seen back-to-back state titles for a while, but two sets of back-to-back state titles. First of all, Tucson and then St. Mary's. 1965 and 66, Tucson wins back-to-back state titles. 67 and 68, St. Mary's wins back-to-back titles.
Yeah, the Tucson High teams, they were coached then by the late John Malamo, and they really kind of got their revenge for what happened to them in the 62 finals at Sun Devil. In 1965, they beat Yuma, a real good Yuma team with Ron Jesse, the great receiver with the Rams, was a running back at Yuma in the mid-60s. And the Badgers beat that Yuma team down at the U of A. And then the next year came up to Sun Devil Stadium, Georgia, and in a real classic defensive game, beat Mesa Westwood in the last game that Mutt Ford ever coached on the high school level. And then, like you mentioned, when St. Mary's came around 2 years later and won it back-to-back, that was really the start. That was Ed Doherty was really starting to get the program on the right track at St. Mary's. And that was really the beginning of the St. Mary's football tradition and strength of the program as we know today.
And of course, Pat Farrell played on those back-to-back state title teams in 67, 68, and then that team came back in 69 to try for a three-peat, got to the finals, only to be beaten by Central. So Pat Farrell knows a bit about state championship games. Then we go from there to back-to-back titles again. Tucson High in 70 and 71, maybe the best teams ever comprised in Arizona.
Yeah, talent-wise, they are, without a doubt, our best state championship team. Especially the 70 team, George. That was the backfield, if I can get this right. Anatinas Martinez, who went to Stanford, was the quarterback, and the three running backs, all three which rushed over 1,000 yards, were Darrell Davis, Alistair Hartfield, and Mark Simon. And that team was ranked number 3 in the country at the end of the season by the National Sports News Service in Minneapolis, and just wiped out a Sunny Slope team in the finals at Sun Devil Stadium. Then all the juniors on that ball club were back the next year, which is mostly their linemen, including Mike Dawson, that spent almost 10 years with the St. Louis Cardinals, and they won it again in 1971, beat a real good Tempe High team, quarterbacked by Fred Mortensen down at the University of Arizona. One final note on the 69 state championship game where Central beat St. Mary's to keep St. Mary's from winning 3 in a row. That was the first state championship game, George, in our state in which we had more than 20,000 at the title game. I think the crowd was something like 20,800 at Sun Devil in 1969.
Of course, we had over 21,000 there a year ago to see South Mountain and Mountain View. Let's go to 1973. Van Howe, coach of Palo Verde High School from Tucson, retiring, this being his last game. He goes against Jesse Parker and Camelback, and Van Howe comes away with a 2-point win.
That was an undefeated Palo Verde team, the last really good football team Palo Verde's ever had, and Van Howe was a legendary old coach down at Tucson. Ironically, it was the last game that he coached in, and it was the first state championship game that Jesse Parker coached in, and I believe Palo Verde won the game something like 22-20, and then the next year, ironically, Camelback's back in it again, and this time they beat St. Mary's by the same identical score, except Coach Parker came out on top in that one.
The first time we had a team win 14 games in a season here was in 1977. Carl Kiefer's Tempe McClintock Ball Club played the Washington Rams. It was a great football game at Sun Devil Stadium. 2 outstanding quarterbacks highlighted that game.
Yeah, Mike Pagel, who later played in the National Football League, quarterbacked the winning team, McClintock. It was, I believe, Carl Kiefer's first state championship game.
Neuheisel was McClintock.
Excuse me, exactly, you're right. Rick Neuheisel was the McClintock quarterback, and Pagel was quarterback the Rams. I don't think in our state championship games, George, we've ever had 2 better quarterbacks facing off with each other in the title game. And of course, Rick later at UCLA was an MVP in a Rose Bowl game.
And now, of course, being named the head coach at Colorado. Again, back-to-back titles. The last time a 5A school has ever won back-to-back titles, 84 and 85. The team that's in it tonight, the Knights of St. Mary's.
You know, they're really, St. Mary's is really tough when they get to the finals. I think they've played an 8 or something, George, and they've won 5 of them. That was the era that McClintock was so highly ranked in national polls, wrote stories about. The USA Today wrote stories about McClintock and so forth, but that's a perfect example why you play the game. In one of those semifinal games, Apollo knocked McClintock out, and then Apollo ended up playing St. Mary's in the finals and getting beat. And the year before that, in either a quarterfinal or a semifinal game, St. Mary's knocked off an undefeated McClintock team that had beaten them early in the season, as you might remember.
We also might mention that 1985 St. Mary's team that went 14-0, that's the last 5A school to go through the season undefeated. So it's been 9 years now since we've had a big school go undefeated through the season. 1988, the Westwood Warriors, under the guidance of Jerry Loper. Remember, he coached Amphi to a state title back in the 70s. Now he brought Westwood to the title game in 88, and they won it all, beating Mountain View.
The significance of that game was the crowd. The crowd was 23,000 plus some change, and that's the largest crowd to ever watch a high school football game in the state of Arizona. I remember in the second half it even sprinkled, and very few of the fans left. That was a real tribute to Arizona high school football, George. On that year, our crowd at our finals outdrew the crowd at both the Texas Large School Finals and the Southern California CIF Finals in Anaheim.
Then in 1989, Westwood came back to defend their title, and standing in their path was an outstanding McClintock team.
Yeah, probably the last great McClintock team, although McClintock had a pretty good ball club about 3 or 4 years ago, remember, that went undefeated in the regular season.
Lost in the first round.
To Westwood, but that was an outstanding McClintock football team. Talent-wise, Carl Kiefer has always said that was the quickest football team he ever coached.
Probably as speedy a backfield as you'd ever want to see on that team. Then in 1990, Mesa High's turn. They beat Amphitheater, and they had a guy by the name of
Bates, what's his name?
Or whatever his name, yeah.
Will he ever make it in the NFL? Son of a gun, Mario Bates scored, what, 3 touchdowns last week against the Rams.
Right.
I guess he may have had his jaw broken earlier in the season, but his jaw wasn't broken when he was in high school, and he rushed for something like 2,700 yards during his senior year at Amphi and got the Panthers all the way into the finals, but a real good Mesa High team quarterbacked by Grady Benton beat him.
So that's going to wrap it up for our halftime show. We hope you've enjoyed our going back in time, reminiscing a little bit about some great state finals of years gone by. And our thanks to Barry for stopping by. Stay with us now. When we come back, we'll visit with Boy Coy, Executive Director of the AIA, then get the second half underway of tonight's championship game.
Drive a new 95 Ford Taurus for only $249 a month. Make only 22 payments and pay no license fees. That's right. Your first payment is on Ford. Your second payment is on 5-Star Ford. Ford pays your first year's license fees when you lease a new 95 Taurus for 24 months, only at 5-Star Ford. Select the Taurus you want. No payment first month, no payment second month, no license fees. 5-Star Ford on McDowell at Scottsdale Road, where our name says it all.
Coming soon to your galaxy is a new dimension of fitness. For the first time ever, Club Ultra Sport, La Mancha Racket Club, and the Arizona Athletic Club have combined forces to present the most powerful incentive on the planet to stay fit. Coming soon to a planet near you. No body on Earth will ever be the same. Join now for the price of one or 25% off single membership rates. Call now 277-6000 to be instantly connected to the location nearest you.
It's halftime here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. The Class 5A state championship game at Horizon in the locker room right now, leading St. Mary's by a score of 10-7. And it gives us a chance here at halftime to visit with the executive director of the Arizona Interscholastic Association, Dr. Boy Coy, who has stopped by to visit. Great ball game here, and you had a great one in the first game, a tie ball game, Saguaro and Peoria.
Didn't think the first one could be played any better. And what do we have now? A game that's being played at least as well, or maybe better than the first one.
great time to showcase the high school football talents around Arizona. We've had two great football games played here tonight. Let's talk a bit about the sportsmanship rule. First of all, we will tell you that as we speak to you right now, the Matt O'Hanlon Award will be given out at halftime of this football game tonight, and the Westwood Warriors are recipients as they have shown the best sportsmanship as so judged by the Arizona Scholastic Association this year. It's a great award.
Wonderful award. Matt O'Hanlon was most likely one of the premier educators, along with being a sportsman, that there has ever been in Arizona. The important thing was he taught me how to swim in Kingman years and years ago.
We also might mention that St. Mary's, one of the teams involved in the state championship game tonight, they were the winner of this award, the Matt O'Hanlon Award, 1 year ago. Another something we'd like to touch on and tell you about, our viewer, and it's too bad you can't get even closer to what I'm about to tell you, is the Scholar Athlete Award, which is presented by the AIA each and every year. I had the privilege of being on the committee a year ago, and if you could see exactly the extracurricular activities of these young men and women as they keep their grades up in the classroom as well as participate in these extracurricular activities, it is marvelous. And I think it's one of the great things around Arizona.
George, I got to ask you a question. Now, you served on the committee last year. Was it difficult to choose which student was going to be the Scholar Athlete of the Year? Now, be honest about it.
I wish that our viewers could see there were about 12 of us sitting in a room trying to decide the finalists. And when you look at 15 or 20 of these applicants, and there's less than a milligram separating these people, and you got to decide who the 5 or so finalists, it's unbelievable. But what a credit to our youngsters.
Then see, every one of those students have to have a grade average of 3.75 or better. Then they have to be able to be a letter athlete for 2 years, and most of those students had a 4.0 grade average, did they not?
Absolutely.
And their SAT scores were so high that most likely yours and mine could be added together and wouldn't accomplish what those students have done, isn't it?
There's no question about it. It's a great, great program, and I wish the media, and I include ourselves in this, could get more involved and present some of these young men and women to you so you'd get an idea of what goes on in the community. It's something we should all be proud of.
No question about it. We have some truly outstanding athletes, and especially scholars in Arizona, and the more we can advertise, the more we can promote those students, the better it's going to be for everyone.
Hey, we're just winding up football season now, and we look ahead to basketball. And Dr. Coy was telling me just before we came on, you just finished talking with the Phoenix Suns, getting ready for the basketball tournament in February.
I had lunch with 5 of them the other day. We're talking now about starting to put together the basketball tournament where we can have the boys and girls both in the America West Arena. And we hope to have just a truly outstanding basketball tournament again.
Last 2 weekends in February, make your way down to America West Arena. It is the greatest show in town, believe me. I took in about 15 or 18 playoff games a year ago. It's fantastic. Dr. Coy, another great year for you and your staff as you wind up the football season. Continued success to you. We enjoy covering it.
Thank you very much. But I want to congratulate you on the job that you do on covering high school sports.
We appreciate it.
Really, thank you very, very much.
Thank you for stopping by. Dr. Coy, Executive Director of the AIA. It's halftime here at Sun Devil Stadium. Our score, Horizon 10, St. Mary's 7. We'll come back with highlights, halftime statistics, and get the second half underway after these words.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs and sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For nearly 30 years, Subway has made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub. Only $1.69 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Get your meatball sub for just $1.69 at Subway today. With 111 convenient locations, there's one near you.
A child's picture of the holidays shouldn't include lung disease, yet lung disease and breathing problems are the #1 killer of infants. And over 4 million children live with the threat of asthma attacks. But the American Lung Association is helping these children to become their own pictures of good health all year round. So help fight lung disease. Support this year's Christmas Seal campaign from the American Lung Association, because when you can't breathe, nothing else matters.
The Horizon Huskies, looking for their first ever state title, lead the Knights of St. Mary's, who have won 8 state championships. The score 10-7 at halftime. Horizon has dominated the play in the first half. They scored the first touchdown. when John Clayton took the handoff from Jeff Boyd and went over the right side from 2 yards out for a touchdown to make it a 7-0 ball game. Then later, a 30-yard field goal by Scott Finkbeiner increased the advantage to 10-0. St. Mary's finally got it rolling with about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Ryan Keeley looking for time, finding it, and throwing to his favorite receiver, Roger Aguilar, from 36 yards out. The touchdown pass put the Knights right back in the football game. Look at Keeley. This is what he does best. As Keeley rolls to his left, shakes away from trouble, now comes back to the right and finds Aguilar all alone, who had beaten the secondary, who hauls it in for the touchdown. And with Sanson's conversion, the Knights right back in the football game, 10-7, Horizon leading at halftime. The statistics, and you can see how dominating Horizon has been in the first half, rolling up just about 200 yards of offense, yet they only lead by 3. Time of possession, 3 times greater than St. Mary's Horizon. Much is the case last week in our semifinal game, where South Mountain had the ball so much more than Horizon. And again, Horizon dominating here tonight. Horizon 10, St. Mary's 7 at halftime for the Class 5A State Football Championship. The two teams will be back on the field. We'll have the second half kickoff in the final 24 minutes of football action for 1994 when we come back after these messages.
Join us at Old Chicago Pasta and Pizza for the Valley's greatest Chicago experience. We have the best deep dish pizza in town. And be sure to bring the family because the price is right. We pile the freshest ingredients high on our unique whole wheat or white crust. And don't forget to stop in our sports bar, where we're proud to feature the Valley's largest selection of beer, 115 from around the world. We're located at the corner of Broadway and Roosevelt in Tempe, 530 West Broadway.
Jack in the Box and Paramount Pictures team up to give you a free Star Trek Generations Movie Collector's Cup when you galaxy-size any of our Supreme Value combos for just 39 cents more.
Engage. Let's go.
It's a stellar deal from Jack in the Box.
You know what I want? Tacos. Yeah. But not those teeny tacos. They gotta be big ones.
Jack in the Box introduces the Monster Taco Deal. 3 delicious Monster Tacos for just $1.99.
Now this I want.
John Clayton's 2-yard touchdown run and Scott Finkbeiner's 30-yard field goal, accounting for the 10 Horizon points, and a 36-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Keeley to Roger Aguilar, accounting for the St. Mary's touchdown. It's 10-7 in favor of Horizon. In the game preceding this one for the Class 4A State Championship, Peoria and Saguaro battled to a 17-all tie. It was 17-9 in favor of Peoria. Late in the game, when Saguaro scored, we're within 2 points, and here's the 2-point conversion that tied the game. The snap to the quarterback, they had 4 wide receivers to the right side of the field, drew all the attention there, and they ran it in from the left side. The final score, Saguaro of Tucson 17, Peoria 17, a winds of a tie. Co-champions in Class 4A.
Well, Peoria is mightily disappointed because they were on the verge of walking away with the championship all to themselves, but nevertheless, they are co-champions. They are still champions, and congratulations to the Panthers and Doug Clapp.
Both teams finished 13-1.
That's right, and for Peoria, under Doug Clapp, a 3rd state championship since 1986. Not too bad.
So both teams in that division finished 13-1. As a matter of fact, Saguaro lost their first game of the year to Tucson Sabino and then reeled off consecutive wins all season long until they got here to the final, where they wound up tying the championship game. Peoria lost their 3rd game of the year to Cactus High School and did not lose another one the rest of the way. Here it's 10-7 in favor of Horizon over St. Mary's as we get set to start the second half. Attendance figures for both games here tonight at Sun Devil Stadium, 15,651. 15,651 in attendance for the championship games. There you see the Horizon side of the field. They looked like gangbusters in the first half. There's John Clayton. He was unstoppable as he went for over 100 yards on the ground in the first half. And they dominated play, did Horizon, on the ground. But St. Mary's got that one drive put together in the second period and capped it off with a touchdown pass from Keeley to Aguilar to get right back in the ball game. Remember, St. Mary's deferred their option at the start of the game. They'll get their choice here in the second half, and so they'll be taking the football.
Good first half. All right. You deferred. You want the ball this half. Gentlemen, they're taking the ball this half. What goal do you want to defend? Kick from. Hey! Kick that one. You want to kick this direction? Yeah. All right. White's over here. You're over here. We'll receive this end. All right, guys, one more time. Let's go have another great half.
St. Mary's to receive the kickoff to start the second half. By the way, we did not give you the officiating crew. The referee is Chuck Maynard. The umpire is Lou Straight. Jerry Childress is the linesman. The line judge is Tommy Ginn. And the back judge is Robert Rao. The alternate tonight, Jerry Morris, in this football game. So we come down to the final 24 minutes of high school football for 1994. What a great year it's been. We look back to September 9th, our very first game this year, Mountain View at Horizon, when it was about 105 degrees. And we capped it off here tonight in rather chilly temperatures at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad if we had a little dose of that 105 degrees here in the next half hour or so. It is a mite cold.
Pat Farrow, final instructions to his Knights before sending them out. And Horizon lined up and ready to kick it away. Scott Finkbeiner will kick it off. Danny Schmaltz and Roger Aguilar will be the double deep backs for St. Mary's. The Knights who won it in 91, looking to take the crown home again in 94. And the Horizon Huskies figure this is their year. They were preseasonally picked #1, stumbled along the way through the first 5 games, but now they are playing great football. They have a 3-point lead as the second half is underway. Kick comes down to Schmaltz, who takes it at the 3. Schmaltz up the middle, and he's knocked down at the 20-yard line. James Denning in on the tackle, a 6'1" junior. 17 yards on the return by Danny Schmaltz. Ryan Keeley leads him out. Keeley, who's had a brilliant year, he's completed 59% of his passes for over 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. And again, he's not been intercepted since the second game of the year back on September 16th. He's only thrown 2 interceptions all season long. Sanson in motion. Play action, Keeley being chased by Milano, gets it away, completes the pass. Aguilar out over the 45. Aguilar's down at the 41 of Horizon. First down, St. Mary's. 40 yards on the pass play.
But Keeley is pressured. He's rolling to his right. He finally spots Aguilar, his favorite receiver. And the problem for Horizon is right here, they over-pursue him, and he comes back, and there is nobody over here to stop him.
That was not an easy throw. Rolling to his right, throwing back across his body to his left, and he laid it right in there. Knights on the move early here in the second half. Keeley will throw again. He will screen out to Schmaltz. Schmaltz is down to the 35. Tackle made by Pazak. Gain of about 5 on the play. Second down coming up, ball at the 35 of Horizon. Huskies clinging to a 3-point lead, but the Knights driving early.
Screen set up on the left side, but it really, there wasn't much with which to work, and Schmaltz comes up with a short gain, about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Danny Schmaltz coming into this game at 18 catches. One of them for a touchdown, and that one touchdown catch was against Horizon. Aguilar on the handoff, nowhere to go. Josh Meadows wraps him up and drops him. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Loss on that play. Knights have to get to just inside the 31-yard line. Another look at the handoff to Aguilar, and Meadows, 55, fighting off the block of Danny Schmaltz to make the tackle.
And a really nice shot of the entire Horizon defense just moving along with Aguilar. There were a lot of players in position to make that tackle.
3rd and about 6. Keeley, plenty of time, gets it away. Aguilar had it and couldn't hold it. He was wide open, and you will not see that happen very often.
Fourth down here at the 37-yard line. It may be out of Sanson's range, although I hesitate to say that.
After watching him kick, I'm not so sure anything's out of his range. Sanson had a 58-yarder against Westwood in the first-round playoff game. That's a state playoff record. 54 yards.
54-yarder.
54 yards out of the hold of Keeley. It's right in the middle of the field. Sanson for a tie in this football game. Horizon leads by 3 from 54 yards away. On the way, it's going to be short. So the 54-yarder comes up short. Horizon still with a 3-point lead. 9:55 to go in the third quarter. That man has kicked 12 field goals this year. And the first time these teams met, he kicked 3 of them of over 40 yards. And that man, Pat Farrell, he just looked at, he's not hesitant to call on Sanson, I think, on anything inside 60 or 55 yards. So the ball put on the 20 now. Horizon has it for the first time in this half, leading by 3 as they have just stopped a St. Mary's drive. The big play on that last drive, a 40-yard pass from Keeley to Aguilar. Now, can St. Mary's shut down the running attack of Horizon? They weren't able to come close in the first half. Play action. Voigt keeps. Throws back to Clayton. Clayton looks for running room. Clayton's into the secondary. Carrick McDonald knocks him down at the 43-yard line. Given the gain of 23, and it's a first down Horizon.
We have seen that play before, but it was last September. Time was running out in the St. Mary's Horizon game. This is the play that Horizon ran that they almost were able to win the game with. Clayton ran it inside the 20-yard line before he was stopped, and it gave them a chance to kick a game-winning field goal, which they weren't able to convert. This time, much fewer yardage on that play, but nevertheless a good game for the Huskies.
Clayton is having a marvelous football game in this state championship. First down Huskies. Clayton again. Look for running room, and there's none there. And he's going to be wrapped up and dropped. Brian Selna there, number 68, to spoil it for Horizon. And you got to get a hold of Clayton before he gets started, like right here.
It's Giordano.
Giordano's the one that slowed him down.
Number 56.
Pat Farrell told me this week that Giordano's been hurting all season long. Told him this week, Coach, I haven't felt this good in the last couple of months. So that's good news for St. Mary's. Second down. And about 10. Voigt wants to throw. He's got time. He's throwing long. He's got a man wide open downfield, and he missed him. John Clayton was wide open at the 20 of St. Mary's. He could have waltzed into the end zone. He overthrew him.
Obviously a missed assignment in the defensive secondary, and it appears that the correction is being aimed at Jim Sanson, the free safety. On the sideline, the St. Mary's coach is looking in Sanson's direction, but in any event, the Knights with a big break right there, because that's 6 for Horizon.
Boy, he was wide open in the secondary. Horizon 2 for 6 on third down conversions in the first half. They're facing a 3rd and 9 from their own 44. Voigt play action to Clayton. Looking for time, wrapped up and dropped. Sack is made. Looked like Selma again. He's played a tough game for St. Mary's.
And this time there were no breakdowns in the St. Mary's secondary. 3 men out on the pass play for Horizon, all well covered. Voigt had no one to throw to here and just simply had to put it away.
So that time they finally put some pressure on Voigt and sacked him for a loss on the play. It's 4th down and 12 from the 41, and Eric Rangel will punt. Gets the kick away. And it bounces inside the 20. Good kick here. And it'll be rolled dead on the 16. Last week, Amphi elected to punt to Aguilar, and they paid the price. This week, Horizon not kicking to Aguilar. 41 yards on that kick by Rangel. So here comes St. Mary's again. You see the time left, third quarter. There's been no scoring in this second half. Pat Farrell. Farrell, who's had a brilliant career at St. Mary's. Knights with the football. Quick handoff up the middle. Danny Schmaltz. They'll set the football down at the 19. Give him a gain of 3. Call it second down, 7 to go.
Show you how frustrated the Knights have been in terms of their ground game. That play right there almost doubles their total rushing yardage for the game.
Well, Pat Farrell said earlier this week he did not think they were going to be able to run effectively on Horizon. Huskies just too big. Schmaltz again gets maybe 2. It's going to bring up third down with about 5 to go. It's a tough defense to run against. Vasquez and Wing really bookends on the defensive ends. And then you got the men up front, like Jacob at 255, Milano at 275. When they bring Valenzuela in, he goes 225. It is a big front offensive and defensive line for Horizon.
And now in what appears to be a passing situation, the Huskies will use 3 down linemen, bring in an extra linebacker.
Aguilar and McDonald to the wideouts, and Sanson goes in motion. Keeley wants to roll. He gets it away. It is incomplete. He wanted to hit Tarek McDonald at the 35, and he threw it behind him. And Keeley was feeling some pressure.
He was, and McDonald fell down.
So that stops the clock with 6:19 to go, third quarter, and Horizon's going to get it back. Aguilar will kick it away to Clayton. Another look as Keeley hit from behind by DJ Vasquez as he got the pass away. Aguilar standing inside his 10. He averages 39 yards a kick. He'll kick to Clayton, who is standing on the Horizon side of the 50-yard line. That kick off the side of the foot takes a bounce and is picked up by Clayton. And John Clayton is down inside the 40-yard line, inside the 35 to the 31 of St. Mary's. I thought it might have been dangerous to even pick it up. But once he picked it up, he sure knew what to do with it. Great run back by Clayton, and he sets Horizon up in great shape.
Let's see if
somebody got a piece of this.
No, nope. Just a bad kick. And the thing is, Clayton, I think right here, sees that the St. Mary's players have started to overrun the ball, and he has a little bit of a hole. And now he takes a couple of shots and won't go down.
So a good run back by Clayton, and now Horizon in business at the 31 of St. Mary's, leading by 3. Paletti in motion. Inside handoff, nothing doing. Bellis the first man to get to him, then Tyler Becker's there. And also Giordano there for St. Mary's. Gain of maybe 1 on the play. Call it 2nd and 9 from the 31. That time Horizon went with the inside handoff. Paletti on a wing. Tyree and Clayton, the running backs. 2nd down, 9, Horizon. Clayton the handoff, and he won't go anywhere. And suddenly St. Mary's getting tough on the defensive front.
It's Giordano again, along with Pedlin, who really congested things and allowed others to come in and apply the finishing touch on the tackle.
Very big defensive stand here for St. Mary's. After an excellent punt return, gave Horizon good field position. Now they stand up.
That's Pedlin at the bottom of the pile, who had his hands around Clayton's feet to slow him up.
3rd down and 11. Passing situation. Ball on the 33-yard line. Play action. Point to throw, and his pass is batted down by Tony Pedlin. And that was a great defensive stand on those series of downs by St. Mary's. We may look back at that series later in the game as a very big defensive stand. 4:45 left, third quarter. There's Pedlin. He's played an outstanding game tonight.
He shoves this pass right back in Voigt's face. Gives you an idea how strong Voigt is. Voigt never goes down.
Pedlin right around Clayton.
Some quarterbacks in that play might fall to the ground, but Voigt remains standing, but the ball goes to the ground.
Wrangled the punt. Steps into it and gets it away. Inside the 10. Down at the 2. He'll put it down at the 4. Marvelous kick by Rangel. Good coverage. And the Knights start at their own 4.
Well covered by the Huskies. And now the problem for St. Mary's is the Knights have had no success at all on the ground, and they really are in a tough position from which to throw.
4:37 to go in the third quarter. The state 5A football championship. The 4A title game wound up in a tie. Tucson, Saguaro, and Peoria battling to a 17-17 standoff. Schmaltz gets 2 yards. Out to the 6, second down 8.
Quite frankly, St. Mary's tonight does not seem to be in a position where it's capable of picking up a first down on the ground. They're going to have to win this game through the air, and they're in the shadow of their own goalposts right now.
Pat Farrell sends Petlin in. Now he'll go with the double tight end alignment. McDonald and Pacheco come out. Those are the 2 wideouts when he goes with the double wideouts. Now he's got the 2 tight ends in Petlin and Farrendorf. Double wing formation again. Aguilar, handoff. Aguilar gets out to the 10. He's going to be 4 yards shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 4, and there's a penalty marker down on the field.
Flag went down at the 13-yard line, and they may have caught 79 Andre Guerra. He's the left tackle for St. Mary's, and they may have caught him using the hands illegally.
Chuck Maynard, the referee, discussing the situation.
No, it's going against Horizon.
Dylan, we got a clip on the defense, number 32.
They call a clip on the defense. Okay. That's Trevor Wild who was called for the infraction.
wants to know how the defense can clip. Well, it was thrown in the direction of Guerra, and he was an interior lineman who was headed in the direction where the play was developing, and it may have been that somebody hit him from behind.
Doug Schaefer, you could see his expression. I'm sure that's exactly what he was saying. How can our defensive man get called for clipping? This is a big penalty. Because if the Huskies can hold the Knights here, they're going to get great field position. But instead, the ball gets moved out to the 25-yard line.
Not only that, now it gives Keeley some room where they can start working with their passing game.
Exactly. 3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Here come the Knights down by 3 with the football. 1st and 10. Sampson cuts it back inside. Gets good yardage. He's out to the 34-yard line.
A late flag, and I'm sure this one is going against St. Mary's. Schmaltz threw an illegal block over here on the left end.
So a good run is going to be nullified. And there it is. It's going against the Knights.
And they're going to lose most of that penalty yardage. They'll go back to about the 15-yard line.
That was a 9-yard run by Sanson, all for naught. Scoring in the game, 2-yard touchdown run by John Clayton and a field goal by Scott Finkbeiner. And then St. Mary's scoring a 36-yard pass
right
from
there.
Keeley to Aguilar. Yeah, there was the block.
I tell you what, that's
on the offense.
That might give nitpicky a new meaning.
Number 1.
He didn't hit him with his helmet or his pads. It was almost an innocent touch with the hand.
It's a 1st and 20 now from the 15-yard line for St. Mary's, and both teams moving back and forth. Play action. Keeley, good faking, throws, it's incomplete. He threw it out to the 30-yard line. He had a receiver open, and that was Aguilar, but he threw it behind him. It was Roger.
Threw it low and away, and Aguilar couldn't reach back to get it.
Favorite receiver for Keeley, Roger Aguilar. He's made so many big catches this year. Came into this game with 45 receptions on the year. I would be surprised if he is not one of the nominees for Player of the Year in the state of Arizona. Roger Aguilar. They sure will miss him. We told you about the great game he had last week against Amphi. He had another tremendous game earlier this year against Mountain Point High School. Schmaltz breaks to the outside, and Danny Schmaltz is out over the 20 to the 21. Well shy of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd and long again. In that game against Mountain Point, Aguilar scored 3 touchdowns, including a 34-yard pass play and a 50-yard run. He had 214 total yards of offense in that game. You look at Schmaltz on that last run. Substitutions going in and out. There's Schmaltz tonight. What he's done. He carries the running load for this football team. The tough yardage, the inside yardage. St. Mary's facing another third down situation. Keeley rolling right, looking, throwing across his body. And it is caught.
First down.
Unbelievable. Tarek McDonald at the 37-yard line. Big first down for St. Mary's.
Also, this ball is caught in a congested area because Sanson, number 1 for St. Mary's, is over there, as are the Husky defenders. Here's McDonald. He's completed his pattern. Now he comes back a little bit. In fact, Sanson almost runs into him.
And again, Keeley had to throw it across his body. Not an easy pass. Minute 50 to go. Knights with it. First down. Schmaltz hands off to Aguilar. He's thrown for a big loss. Breaking through was Randy Valenzuela. Oh, that's one of those trick plays that Pat Farrell likes to throw in. But that time, Valenzuela made the big play defensively.
There's always a player whose assignment is to stay at home. Don't buy the fake. Stay at home. That's what Valenzuela did. And when somebody does it, they'll make the play every time.
Schmaltz to Aguilar, and here's Valenzuela throwing him down. Big loss back to the 25. Second down and 22 for the Knights. A minute to go, third quarter. Horizon by 3 for the state championship, Class 5A. Sanson starts in motion. Penalty markers fly.
The Knights are really
We have a dead ball delay on the offense.
hurting themselves on this possession. We've seen a clipping call. Here's a delay, and then, of course, the lost yardage on that last play.
St. Mary's making their 15th consecutive state playoff appearance this year. Again, they've won 10 or more games in a season, 9 times in the last 11 years. Amazing record. They were the winningest Arizona football team in the decade of the 80s. They won 99 games in the 80s, won 82% of their games. And here they're trailing by 3 with that much time left, third quarter. Second and 27, they're going to screen. They screen it out to Schmaltz. Schmaltz is going to throw down the field, and it's complete to Sanson. He's got it out over the 40-yard line. Amazing. Big gain on the play, short of a first down, but a big gain.
And a better pass, and that's a touchdown. There were 2 forward passes thrown on that play. In Arizona high school football, you can throw more than 1 forward pass in the play, provided the pass is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. And then that one is a forward pass behind the line of scrimmage, so they were allowed to throw another forward pass. And here it is, and it's a touchdown if he gets anything on it.
That's the end of the third quarter at Sun Devil Stadium. Championship game. Horizon leads by 3. We'll be back.
Join us at Old Chicago Pasta and Pizza for the Valley's greatest Chicago experience. We have the best deep dish pizza in town. And be sure to bring the family because the price is right. We pile the freshest ingredients high on our unique whole wheat or white crust. And don't forget to stop in our sports bar, where we're proud to feature the Valley's largest selection of beer, 115 from around the world. We're located at the corner of Broadway and Roosevelt in Tempe, 530 West Broadway.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs in sauce on bread I just baked. all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For nearly 30 years, Subway has made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub. Only $1.69 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Get your meatball sub for just $1.69 at Subway today. With 111 convenient locations, there's one near you.
The final 12 minutes of the 1994 football season about to unfold. It's been a great football game so far. Over 15,500 in attendance. Horizon leading by 3, looking for their first ever state title. The Knights trying to rally here in the fourth quarter. I would be remiss if I did not mention what a great halftime show we saw tonight from the outstanding band at Horizon High School under the guidance of band director David Cox. Our congratulations for a great show by that Horizon band tonight at halftime. And their Huskies are trying to hang on here for a state title. Third down Knights, looking pass, Aguilar, first down into Horizon territory. He is virtually impossible to guard one-on-one. And that is a huge first down for St. Mary's. They were looking at 1st and 22 a moment ago, actually 2nd and 22.
You have to respect his ability to go deep, so they're playing off him. St. Mary's did not need a lot of yards for the first down, and Keeley put it right in the middle of Aguilar's chest.
Great play calling by the Knights. They have the ball at the Horizon 46.
Remember, this drive started, what, about the 5-yard line?
That's right. No scoring in this second half. Again, Keeley with plenty of time has a man. Aguilar inside the 30 to the 29 of Horizon. That's another first down.
The thing is, St. Mary's receivers are so well coached, they don't stop running. Keeley needs some time, so they start to improvise. And the thing is, when you play Aguilar one-on-one, nobody's going to stay with him. He manages to get himself loose.
17 yards on the pass play. Knights are driving at the Husky 30. McDonald and Aguilar, the wideout. Handed off to Schmaltz. Schmaltz tracks up the middle, and he's got 5 yards. You know, every once in a while, you keep them honest.
Well, and the other thing is they're starting to get a little bit more yardage now in the ground game because Horizon has become so pass conscious, as they should, that Pat Farrell is now starting to pick them apart a little bit on the ground.
This is a big defensive stand here for Horizon as they try and dig in. Here come the Knights. They call it 2nd down and 6 from the 25. Aguilar in motion. Option. Keeley. Pitch to Aguilar. Big yardage. First down to the 13 of Horizon. Another great call that time. They haven't run that play all night, and he picked the perfect time to run it.
And he executed it. Keeley executed it so well. He came down the line. He saw a Husky defender starting to come towards him. He did not pitch too soon. He waited until the right time, until the defender had committed, and when he did, it left Aguilar all alone to pick up the yardage.
St. Mary's is on the 14-yard line of Horizon, and you get one more look at that last brilliant option pitch to Aguilar and his outstanding run to the 14 of the Huskies. First down, St. Mary's. Looking to take the lead. They've never led the night. Danny Schmaltz. Schmaltz to the 3-yard line. First and goal, St. Mary's. They just seem to find the way to do it. Schmaltz, tough run. And they're going against a bigger, much bigger defensive front in Horizon.
But that front for Horizon and everybody on the Horizon side of the ball right now has to be stunned. Well,
Schmaltz is hit and dropped for a loss that time as the Horizon defense stands tall.
Speaking of being stunned, it was Schmaltz's turn to be stunned that time.
Josh Meadows there for the stop. Still 2nd down, goal to go. Maybe look for Keeley to do a little roll, maybe, to either side, look for an open man. That time the handoff to Schmaltz, and there was just no place to go. Sanson comes out of the ball game. Double wing formation. Aguilar the handoff, and he's knocked down for a loss. Brooks Tyree made the tackle.
You could see it. They had defensive backs coming on the play. They were bringing everybody. If Keeley was going to pass, they were going to apply the pressure, and if the Knights were going to run, they were going to get men back there to stop it.
Nothing but green jerseys in the backfield of St. Mary's.
They were all coming. They weren't leaving many back to guard against the pass play.
3rd and goal from the 8. Again, they converge and drop Aguilar. Tyree, the middle backer.
Well, they're obviously in field goal range, but this is a tough angle from which to kick. We're a play ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, they want 7, not 3. Keeley looking to throw. Has time. Throws. Touchdown, Roger Aguilar. He was all alone in the back of the end zone. St. Mary's leads for the first time tonight with 8.5 minutes to play in the game.
Well, there was obviously a major breakdown on defense for Horizon because Aguilar on the wing and nobody went with him.
I don't know how you leave a guy like this so wide open. Look at him, nobody near him.
I'll tell you what, Trevor Wild, number 32, hit him a little bit as he came off the line, came out of the backfield.
The kick is good, and now it's 14-10. Big extra point there because now the Huskies have to score a touchdown.
But then Wild let him go as if he was expecting somebody behind him to pick him up, and then he turned around, and I'm not sure whether he realized he had made a mistake or whether he's surprised that nobody was back there. But in any event, they left Aguilar all alone, and now the Knights, really with an astounding comeback, the way they were getting shoved all over the field in the first half, now have a 4-point lead, and only 8.5 minutes are left.
We've watched this team so many times, not only this year, but over the years, and somehow they find a way to hang in football games and find ways to win them. Now, this one's not over yet by a long way, but they have come back from a 10-0 deficit to take the lead. In a game, quite frankly, in the first quarter and through the first half of the second quarter, they looked like they had no chance to win.
Well, midway through the second quarter, St. Mary's had run 6 offensive plays.
That's right. Now Sanson to kick off with his team leading by 4. How about that drive? 14 plays, 96 yards, over 8 minutes of the clock to take the lead. Now can Horizon answer? We'll find out. This is a typical Sanson kick. Into the end zone, they'll start at the 20.
The Knights look like a group of men, all of whom have the adrenaline. I can spit it out. It's really flowing right now.
It really is. They're pumped up. Keeley this half, 6 of 8 for 95 yards and a touchdown. And now Doug Schaefer, you just saw him there, trying to muster his troops together to put on a long drive here. Never out of a ball game when you got the likes of Boyd and Clayton and Tyree and company and Paletti. Handoff. Was there a fumble? Clayton was hit as soon as he got the handoff. You know, and suddenly the running game is not able to do anything now for Horizon. The last time they were stuffed, and they get stuffed here on this running attempt.
Well, and remember, they were stopped in their last possession of the first half.
Handoff to Clayton.
It was on the ground.
Yep. Loss of 1, second of 11. The St. Mary's side of the field going wild right now, imploring their defense to stand up. Boyd to throw, gets it out, complete, and Clayton's dragged down at the 25-yard line. Aguilar was over there. It's going to bring up a big 3rd and 5. This is a huge play coming up for Horizon to try and maintain possession.
And this is not what Horizon wants to do. Being forced to go to the passing game late, trailing.
This is the same thing we saw 2 weeks ago in the quarterfinal against Mesa, when St. Mary's got up and made Mesa play catch-up by throwing the football. Trying to make teams do what they're not used to doing.
Or in any event, making them do what they do not do best.
Exactly. Now a timeout on the field. Clayton, 2 catches tonight. He has run exceptionally well from scrimmage. He is a great, great football player, John Clayton. This has been a dandy football game. St. Mary's scoring just about a minute ago to take the lead for the first time tonight, 14-10. St. Mary's looking for their 9th state title. Clayton squirts through. I do not think he got there. We'll see where they mark the football.
I think he did get there, George. He had to get to the 30-yard line, and it looks as if he got just across.
They put it on the 30. It is a first down. I thought he'd be a couple of inches short on the mark of the ball, but he was not. They marked it right on the 30.
He was hit short of the first down right here.
That's a good effort by Clayton.
But keeps going.
That was a big first down. They keep the football, clock running, 7.5 minutes to play. St. Mary's 14, Horizon 10. The Class 5A State Football Championship is on the line. Up the middle, Brooks Tyree. Tyree trying to drag people, and he got about 4 yards. Before he's finally thrown back, Ben Pelzer had a hold of him, and Bellis off the bottom of the pile. Tyree, tough runner. Over 700 yards on the year coming in, close to 800. And with this game tonight, he's over 800 yards on the season. And 14 touchdowns. There's Brian Bellis, the middle backer for the Knights. He got 5 on the last carry. Second down, 5 to go. Option, boy. Boyd keeps. First down over the 40. Out to the 42.
Well, the Huskies aren't dead dogs yet, are they?
They're trying to keep it on the ground and churn out yardage, which they're doing successfully. Good fake there to Tyree. Voigt runs option. He can really run well for a quarterback.
Well, that's a real nice block by 72 Sanders over on the right side. Voigt cut in behind him.
Clock winding down, 4th quarter. Tyree, look at him fight. He's into St. Mary's territory at the 45. He just went for about 13 yards. Brooks Tyree, Huskies on the move, first down. Well, this was the preseason #1 ranked team in the state. And they were leading this whole game until a couple of minutes ago. Now it's like they said to themselves, all right, let's show what we can do. If we're going to win it, let's go on this winning drive. The Knights are trying to dig in and hold on defense. Clayton on a sweep, cuts it inside. Clayton's down to the 37-yard line. And the running game's all well and good again for Horizon.
Well, Dan Schmaltz, number 2, had shot across the line of scrimmage and thought he was in position to make the tackle on Clayton. But 67, Mike Milano came around and just delivered a crushing blow to keep Schmaltz from making the stop.
This was an 8-yard run by Clayton. He starts left, he cuts it back in, and he shows good power as well. They've moved the football to the 37-yard line of St. Mary's. The drive started at their own 20. The clock's approaching 5 minutes to go in the championship game. St. Mary's leads by 4. Hand it off to Tyree. He finds another huge hole. He's inside the 30 to the St. Mary's 29. That's another first down for Horizon.
But Tyree is doing a terrific
is he a tough runner
on this series.
He has had a great football game. Both running backs, Tyree and Clayton, have played brilliantly tonight. There are the numbers on the big fullback, Brooks Tyree. Clayton's over 100 on the night. First down, Huskies. Tyree again. Brooks Tyree off the right side, and they're ripping the St. Mary's defensive line apart. They're down to the 20. He got 9 on that run.
It's almost as if St. Mary's touchdown was a wake-up call to the Huskies, and they have now gone back to doing what they were doing so well in the first half.
I know I'm ahead of myself in what I'm going to say, but I'm watching the clock, and I'm thinking if Horizon scores, there's going to be a lot of time left for Ryan Keeley to work his magic.
I was thinking the same thing.
This is coming down to a heck of a finish. Voigt to Tyree on the handoff. He falls forward, and he's got the first down.
I mean, ideally, Horizon would like to take another 2.5, 3 minutes off the clock and then score a touchdown.
They'd like to take about 3:58 off the clock now and leave St. Mary's with about 2 seconds to play.
There is it's happened in football games. There is something to be said about scoring too soon.
In the Westwood game, opening playoff game against St. Mary's, Westwood scored the tying touchdown with 52 seconds to play. St. Mary's came back and won the game on a field goal with 2 seconds to go. Voigt's going to keep, and he's going to be knocked down. Sanson up from the secondary.
Okay, let's see what kind of a call we get from Horizon right here.
Hetland was also there.
For the first time in a while, they are stopped for a short gain on first down. Are we now going to see them go to the air, or will they go back to Tyree or Clayton up the middle?
Clayton, 112 yards on the ground tonight. Tyree, 84 yards. This is a ground-oriented team, and they're churning it out. Second down at the 17 of St. Mary's. Clayton squirts through a hole near the 11. It's going to bring up a third down and about 3. The clock is running with 2:50 to go in the game. What a super football game it's been. The first one was a great meeting, 3 weeks into the season, and this one even better.
Well, Horizon figures it's going to have 2 shots at picking up this. Looks like about 4 yards to go for a first down.
They call it 3rd and 4. Pat Farrell and his staff, you think they're not into it?
St. Mary's really has to summon something up right here because they are being shoved backwards. Oh.
Tyree is knocked down. It's 4th down coming up. Charlie O'Malley made the stop. We saw an instance the first time these two teams met at Husky Stadium in the 3rd week of the season. There was an instance in the game where St. Mary's had to stop Horizon, and they did it. Horizon had 2 downs to pick up a yard or 2 near midfield. They couldn't do it. Now they're looking at 4th and about 2, and a timeout is called. This is the football game coming up right here. What a great football game. Horizon moving the football from their own 20 to the St. Mary's 10. After falling behind 14 to 10, now look at a 4th and 2. If they do not make it, in all probability, they lose the football game. Well, unless St. Mary's turns it over again. If they make the first down, they have a golden chance to win the game.
I cannot help but remember what St. Mary's head coach Pat Farrell told us after his team beat Horizon earlier in the season. We asked him because at that point Horizon was 1 and 2. What do you think the problem is with Horizon? Were they just overrated, or are they a good team that's not playing well? And he didn't really answer the question, but he said something else. He said, I have thought all along that the state championship is Horizon's if they want it. Whether or not they want it is something I can't say. Well, the state championship will be decided in the next 2 minutes. And right now, it is Horizons if they want it badly enough, because they are inside the St. Mary's 10, trailing by only 4.
Here come the Huskies on the field. They've got the play they want to run. It is 4th and 2. Everybody in this stadium is on their feet. We'll let the picture tell the story.
First down.
First down, Horizon. Power running. They went behind the big front wall, and they got it. John Clayton.
Boy, I tell you what, you can, looking at the Horizon sideline and the Horizon team on the field, you can almost sense that they feel that they're going to win this football game. They now expect to win it. They still trail, and the clock is running, but they don't have far to go, and there's plenty of time.
They are down by 4. It didn't look like there was much there for Clayton to get, but he found enough. That's the story of Clayton tonight. He has shown that he's an all-state performer, as have so many of these youngsters on the field tonight. On a sweep, Paletti cuts it back in. Paletti to the 3. Bellis drags him down.
Boy, that's the thing. St. Mary's seemed to have that play stopped at about the 5, maybe the 6, and Paletti cut back and falls forward to the 3, so they wind up picking picking up 2 yards on the play.
You see Pat Farrell saying, hey, call timeout.
Yep.
So the defense does so.
St. Mary's has to use timeouts now because Horizon seems to be on the verge of scoring, and the Knights want to give themselves a chance to get the ball back and at least a little time to do something.
I tell you, during the course of the year, if you listen to me, go to a high school football game in your area on a Friday night. Attend a high school game. It is a great way to spend a Friday evening. And ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing tonight what it's all about in high school football in this state. These two teams have provided us with a most memorable state championship.
Well, I must say there are very few reasons to listen to you, but I have to agree with you on that one.
Boy, what a great game this has been. Two coaches who have the utmost respect for each other and each other's programs. A lot of these youngsters know each other. They played Pop Warner football together for years. And now they're going at it for the second time this year. The first time they met, a whisker separated them. A missed field goal with 5 seconds to go actually was the difference in the game. Now we come down to this, their second meeting of the year. But this one a bit more important because a state champion will be crowned at the end of this ball game. There's 1 minute and 12 to go. 4 points separate the two teams. And Horizon's knocking at the door, trying to go in for the go-ahead score.
This drive already has consumed more than 7 minutes.
Clayton lost the ball, but it came right into the hands of Johansson. Oh, what a break for Horizon.
That is the second fumble on this drive by the Huskies, and they've managed to recover both of them.
55 seconds to go and the clock running. Here it is again. Clayton hit from the side by Schmaltz into the pile, fumbles it right to Johansson. Tyree got nowhere. He got to the 2, clock running, 35 seconds to go.
Okay, my guess is that on the next play, that's 2 shots up the middle. Horizon hasn't made anything. They're lucky to still have the football. We're going to see Voigt trying to go around the end. We're going to see a
timeout on the field, 31 seconds to play. Horizon back over to visit with Doug Schaefer. Here's another look, and there was nowhere for Tyree to go. Everybody converged for St. Mary's up the middle.
I think we've seen the last play up the middle. Voigt fakes a handoff to perhaps Tyree or Clayton diving up the middle and tries to go around in. And the thing is, St. Mary's has everybody jammed in tight, so they may be vulnerable on the ends.
Timeouts left. Huskies have 1 timeout left. St. Mary's with 2. So if they do not get in here, it is 4th down. It is 4th and goal, and the ball is closer to the 2. 4th down. Here we go. What an ending to a great season. Will they try power again, or will they go sweep? 4th and goal with a half a minute to go. The state title is on the line.
They're lining up in the same formation they used a little bit ago when they picked up a key first down, and they moved.
Horizon jumped. It might have been Jason Moore, the tight end, who jumped. And oh, what a difference that is now. Now you go from what would look like a running situation to certainly a pass.
Movement on the right side at the tight end position. Well, it has been a sensational drive by Horizon. 8 minutes this drive is consumed. Remember, St. Mary's took the lead with 8.5 to go in the game. And Horizon has had the football ever since and has marched up the field.
St. Mary's has just called a timeout. There's Pat Farrell. Horizon's over around Doug Schaefer. There's Jeff Voigt, number 1. John Clayton, number 3. 31 ticks of the clock left. 4th and goal from the 7. Horizon with the ball down by 4.
Do you think we'll see that play? I'm not sure this is the best time to use it, but the play we saw them use against South Mountain last week, where they come up and appear to be set but are not, and then everybody shifts to draw the defense offside. That would, if they did that and drew St. Mary's offside, would move the ball to about the 3.
Here come the Huskies. There's Doug Schaefer. No matter what the outcome, both of these schools have had marvelous seasons. Here we go. Paletti wide to the near side. Loki to the far side. Voigt rolling right. He wants to keep. He gets the ball away. Touchdown! Horizon! How in the world did he get rid of the ball? What a play by Voigt! Unbelievable!
He was falling to the ground. But I tell you what, George, he may have been beyond the line of scrimmage. He may have been beyond the line of scrimmage, and the officials are conversing right now. The line of scrimmage was a 7, and I believe he may have been past the 7.
You may be right. Watch it again.
It'll stand. It'll stand as a touchdown.
There it is again. No, he's well behind.
Can't tell from there.
He's behind. He got it away to Tyree. And the touchdown stands with 24 seconds to go.
Here it is. He is just crossing the 10. He is not on the... You're right. He is not to the 7.
That was a brilliant play by Voigt. To have the presence of mind to get rid of it to Tyree. Pandemonium on the far side of the field. And for St. Mary's, absolute heartbreak.
Yep.
With 24 seconds to go. Now they'll penalize.
This is for celebrating after the touchdown.
For celebrating, that's exactly right. There's still 24 seconds to play. Believe me, we've seen enough St. Mary's games. This game is not over. The score is 16-14. Significance of this extra point is to give them a field goal lead. With Jim Sanson, you better have enough cushion. That was an 18-play, 80-yard, 8-minute drive. Dively's kick will not get there. He missed the extra point. There's 24 seconds to go. St. Mary's is down by 2. Now, I'll tell you one thing. They better get a deep kickoff on this one. There's only, I believe St. Mary's only has 1 timeout left. But they better get a deep kickoff. They do. The scenario in the Westwood game in the opening round of the playoffs, you get another look at the touchdown. Westwood scored to tie the game with 52 seconds to go, but didn't kick the ball deep on the ensuing kickoff. The Knights eventually got a field goal to win it. Look at Voigt here. Flips it ahead to Tyree, who takes it in. Unbelievable ending. Now can they hold on?
You said presence of mind. That's exactly what it was. He did not lose his composure. He was going to the ground. Maybe it was an act of desperation, but he's picked out a teammate and just shoveled it ahead. And it may have won him a state championship.
This is one of the great state championships that I have ever sat here in this stadium and witnessed. 2 great efforts tonight by these 2 teams. The first time we saw them, the game was decided by 2 points. This game right now is decided by 2 points. But there's time left. Jim Sanson may have something to say about the outcome of this game before it's over. Here's the kick. Schmaltz gonna pitch it to Aguilar. And Aguilar, trying to get wide, is knocked out of bounds at about the 13-yard line with 17 seconds to play.
Horizon did what it had to do. Good kick coverage to stop a long return. And now 17 seconds. And what? To give Sanson a shot, they probably need to get to about the 35-yard line of Horizon. And in 17 seconds, I'm not sure they can get that far.
Here we go. 17 seconds to play. Have the miracles run out for the Knights. Keeley's going to keep the football, and he's going to be knocked down at the 25. And he immediately calls timeout with 9 seconds to go. That's the last timeout for the Knights. Maybe 2 more plays?
2 more plays at best. And what you're talking about is, you know, try to get... It's a long pass and get him out of bounds. To give them a field goal opportunity, it seems improbable, to say the least.
You know, there are some sporting events as broadcasters you really feel privileged to sit in on and to cover. And I can tell you from a personal standpoint, this has been one of them tonight. Tremendous football game. Two teams that have fought their hearts out in this one.
Too bad we didn't do the first game.
Oh.
Same thing there. It was
exactly.
That one ended up in a tie, but it was very, very late in the ball game. With less than 2 minutes to go.
The Arizona Interscholastic Association could not have dreamed of having any two better football games than were staged in this stadium here tonight. Absolutely incredible. The ending to this one, astounding. 9 seconds to go. Horizon fans are going wild on the other side of the field. Ryan Keeley. Keeley to throw, being rushed, gets away, looks downfield, gonna let it fly. It is intercepted. Pazak with the interception. The game is over. Horizon has won the Class 5A State Football Championship. Two great football teams wrapping up a great football season. And the emotions very evident on the parts of both teams. Horizon wins it tonight by a score of 16-14. They did it in true championship team fashion after seeing a 10-0 lead evaporate. And after watching St. Mary's take the lead 14-10, Horizon showed their true character by driving 80 yards in over 8 minutes, converting fourth down plays along the way to win it.
You know, in a sense, this football game was sort of in a condensed form the story of Horizon's season.
Exactly.
They started the year off ranked #1, high expectations. They started off this game very much in control. And then things started to go sour. And while they weren't, you know, they were getting knocked around a little bit, they still maintained the lead. Well, things were going sour early in the year. And then shortly after the halfway mark, St. Mary's takes the lead, or St. Mary's starts to establish itself and eventually takes the lead. At the halfway mark of the season, they find themselves trying to figure out whether they're really a football team that's going to make a run at things or not because of the 3 losses and the X-rated movie incident. And then they came back. They won their last 5 games in league play. They came back with 8.5 minutes to go and drove the length of the field for what proved to be the winning touchdown. So you saw here tonight sort of the story of Horizon's entire season, and you have to give those young men credit. They had many opportunities to fold tonight, and they had lots of opportunities to fold in 1994. And when they wake up tomorrow morning, each and every one of them is a state champion.
Here's the final play of the game. Ryan Keeley looking deep and letting fly as far as he could. And Jim Pazak intercepting for Horizon. Ironically, Keeley had not thrown an interception since the 2nd game of the year. That's only his 3rd interception of the year. He had a marvelous season. And here are the emotions that you feel as a 16 and 17-year-old youngster.
If there is anything positive out of this defeat for St. Mary's, then they have to be absolutely crushed because they're within 30 seconds of winning the state championship. And
here's the winning touchdown.
An inch either way, this ball could easily have been batted away, or he could have fallen to the ground without getting rid of it.
4th down on that play, and he has the presence of mind to get it to Tyree.
But here's the thing. When these players come out next year, they'll remember how much because most of these players are back for St. Mary's. They will remember how much this game hurt, and it may be enough to really impel them into next year's state championship game.
Final tonight before over 15,000 in Sun Devil Stadium. Horizon wins their first ever state championship as they beat St. Mary's in a most memorable final, 16-14. Back to visit with Coach Doug Schaefer in a moment.
Drive a new 95 Ford Taurus for only $249 a month. Make only 22 payments and pay no license fees. That's right. Your first payment is on Ford. Your second payment is on 5-Star Ford. Ford pays your first year's license fees when you lease a new 95 Taurus for 24 months, only at 5-Star Ford. Select the Taurus you want. No payment first month, no payment second month, no license fees. 5-Star Ford on McDowell at Scottsdale Road, where our name says it all.
Join us at Old Chicago Pasta and Pizza for the Valley's greatest Chicago experience. We have the best deep dish pizza in town. And be sure to bring the family because the price is right. We pile the freshest ingredients high on our unique whole wheat or white crust. And don't forget to stop in our sports bar, where we're proud to feature the Valley's largest selection of beer, 115 from around the world. We're located at the corner of Broadway and Roosevelt in Tempe, 530 West Broadway.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Do you need tires and wheels for your car or truck? Well, then get off your butt and come on down to Big Bill's Deals and Wheels. Howdy. I'm Big Tex, Big Bill's little cousin, and I do mean little. Big Bill's at dinner right now, has been for several days. So let me tell you all about Big Bill's Deals and Wheels. It's Arizona's largest selection of new and used wheels, custom-made wheels. Whatever you need, Big Bill's got it. And if he don't got it, he'll get it. Got it? Good. And this ain't no bill.
Jack in the Box and Paramount Pictures team up to give you a free Star Trek Generations Movie Collector's Cup when you galaxy-size any of our Supreme Value combos for just 39 cents more.
Engage. Let's go.
It's a stellar deal from Jack in the Box.
You know what I want? Tacos. Yeah. But not those teeny tacos. They gotta be big ones.
Jack in the Box introduces the Monster Taco Deal. 3 delicious Monster Tacos for just $1.99.
Now this I want.
Let's go. The new Class 5A state champion resides on 56th Street and Greenway Road. The Horizon Huskies, their first ever state title. They beat St. Mary's 16-14. Coach Doug Schaefer, our hearty congratulations on what was one of the greatest high school football games I have ever seen.
Thank you, George. It was a great game. You can't ask for anything more in a high school football game. 2 great teams, 2 well-coached, well-disciplined teams, and playing their hearts out. It comes down to the last 30 seconds. What can you say?
You are alongside of 2 of your stalwarts.
Yes, I am.
To your right, John Clayton. 1,700 yards, 23 touchdowns this year. He was absolutely brilliant tonight. And the guy to your left is a real bulwark.
Yes,
I'll tell you. He got you some tough yardage tonight when it counted, and he caught the winning touchdown.
Brooks ran the heck out of the ball tonight. Johnny ran the heck out of the ball. It was our first half, it seemed like, and it was their second half. But when it counted, we needed that last drive with 5 or 6 minutes left on the clock, and our line came out, and Johnny and Brooks ran the ball hard. And what can you say except for that last play? Just Brooks and Voigt both heads-up play that won the game for us.
I said, what about the presence of mind of Jeff Voigt in a tough situation like that, to have the presence of mind to flip the ball to Brooks Tyree?
Here it is, here it is. Okay, I thought he was going down.
I did.
We called an ISO play on our split end. Aguilar covered him. He's going down. Look at that. He's down. Oh, my, unbelievable. Look at that. Brooks is standing there. Is that great or what? Hey, it finally came to us, George. We finally got a break. The Lord was on our side tonight, and we'll take it.
You know, Doug, we talked in our pregame comments about the character that this football program has shown, where you got out of the blocks very slowly, all the incidents, the pitfalls along the way, yet never giving up and showing the resolve to come back and win a championship.
Hey, go home. I didn't catch much of that, George. We had a bunch of people talking down here. The kids just did a great job. They never gave up. They played all night. I'm losing it, George. I'm losing it.
I know it's very difficult for Coach Schaefer to hear us down there on the field. Doug, what was the game plan, if you can hear us, the game plan coming into this one?
We tried to, what we wanted to do, George, is control the ball, try to keep it out of Aguilar's hands and keep it out of Keeley's hands, because we knew we could throw the heck out of the ball. They have a great passing game and a great receiving game, and they showed that tonight. And we tried to eat the clock up, which we did in the first half. They got a big play, 2 big plays to score that touchdown before the half, and they got back in the game. Then they came out and they drove and drove and drove it on us, but our kids didn't give up. Our motto is refuse to lose, and they didn't refuse to lose tonight. They found a way to win this ball game.
Doug, I don't know if you can hear me. This is Doug Gerlach upstairs.
I think I'm... Hey, guys, back up. Hey.
Doug, this is Doug Gerlach.
Okay, Doug.
Congratulations on your first state championship. Let me ask you this. You've probably talked enough about all the distractions and what happened early in the season. Let me ask you this. Obviously, the first half of the season didn't go the way you wanted it to. Things started to go for you the second half of the season. Can you tell us at what point in the second half of the season did you begin to sense that you finally had things on the right track and your team was headed for where they wound up tonight?
About the second or third league game, Doug, after we came out and we beat Swirl real handily. Then we went down to beat Coke from North Canyon, and we took it to our fourth league game. And I figured the kids, we were beating teams that weren't as good as us, but we were beating them handily like we should. And we figured then that we had something going for us. And then, I'll tell you, when I really realized it, when we beat Montview in that second round of the playoffs.
Yeah. Doug, I'll tell you something. You know, we as broadcasters sit up here, have great respect for both the programs at Horizon and St. Mary's. And the nice thing to see is there's mutual respect between yourself and Pat Farrell.
We respect them and they respect us. I think Pat's one of the premier coaches in the state. They have a heck of a program, George. And I'll tell you what, that's a young team with a lot of class, a lot of poise. They're going to be back here next year. You guarantee it.
Well, they say good things come to good people, and you are good people. And we are so happy for you and your Horizon football team. Enjoy this first ever state title for the school. You deserved it.
Doug, thank you. And thank you, George, for all you guys do for high school football. You both are a class act. I appreciate everything, and we will enjoy it, George. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, George.
Doug Schaefer with his ball club, the victorious Horizon Huskies, as they beat St. Mary's tonight 16-14. Boy, how do you wrap it up? It was great from start to finish.
You know, we talked in the year, while we enjoy all the high school games we covered, it was one of those seasons where we had a lot of blowouts. And I know I heard you say over and over again, really the most exciting game we had all year was that Horizon St. Mary's game in week 3. And lo and behold, here we come back. The first time we get to do a state championship game in about 10 years and come back and they give us a repeat performance, in effect, an even more exciting game than what we saw in week 3.
Our thanks to both schools and all of their administrations, coaching staffs, and players for their cooperation. Our thanks to all the schools throughout the 1994 season who cooperated so much with us in making another banner high school football season on ASPN. Our thanks to the Arizona Interscholastic Association for their cooperation throughout the playoffs and the championship game here. And our thanks to you, the viewers, for your comments during the course of the season and your phone calls to ASPN. And we hope to continue our coverage of high school football through the years. There's Doug Schaefer. You can bet he'll enjoy this one and remember this one for the rest of his life because it's the first ever at Horizon. They've had great football teams there before, but this is the first year in the history of this school they've won more than 10 games. Tonight they won their 11th, and it was the one that meant it all. It was for the state championship. And they scored the winning touchdown with seconds to play in the game to defeat St. Mary's 16-14. It was indeed a classic battle. Over 15,500 looked on. Our thanks to our crew, our camera people who gave you such great pictures not only tonight but throughout the course of the 94 season. The guys who come out and work long hours on game days to bring you the pictures of high school football. And so we close out another 1994 football season. Our thanks to everybody involved. Hope to see you again in 1995 with more exciting games. For Doug Gerlach, great to work with you again this year.
Thanks for having me, George. I enjoyed it.
And for John McCann, Bob Corwin, our statisticians throughout the season, and all of our crew, we thank all of you for being a part of it. We'll see you next season on ASPN.